And we are live.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Chef.
Oh,
All right, well, you want to walk us in there, Mr. Palace?
maybe not.
Maybe not.
I still see the D&D thing on my end.
Yeah, you will, until I move you guys to a different map.
Gotcha.
That's the staging map, because it'd be awkward if we were just talking around a inn that no longer exists, because, spoiler alert, it got burned.
I wonder how that happened, though. It's really mysterious.
It shall remain a mystery for the ages.
I want to go watch the VOD.
Quick question. Has anyone else got the stream up?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
of
it up.
Does it still say starting soon for y'all?
No,
Mhm.
everything's up.
Everything's up, video's up, maps up, the actual Roll20 chat's up. Everything looks good.
Everything's working.
Okay, I just had a refresh on mine, I guess. It still showed starting soon for me.
Okay. No, everything's 5x5, Palace.
Cool.
In the pipe, 5x5. All right, well, let me do an intro then. Hello and welcome to another night of the Hobo Slayers D&D Night, 5th edition. This is our second outing. Excuse me while I reach around the microphone here. For those of you that missed the first week, I pity you. You should watch the VOD and or the YouTube whenever that shows up. To give a quick little recap, the adventurers are hiding out in the distant northern town of Kingdom of Unnamed currently. And, they were celebrating with some brand new alcohol that a local brewmaster had rolled out. And apparently it turned people into zombies. And during the kerfuffle of attempting to cure them of zombieism by killing them again, the inn burned down. And that's currently where we stand. So why don't we do a quick little recap by letting everybody go along and introduce their character real quick, and then we will get in.
I'm Naz Extremes, and my character is Vice, a tiefling sorcerer phoenix soul who likes fire a little bit too much.
Still, tiny bit.
So my character is Drusilla, and she is a high elf fighter who is a noble and likes to kind of hang back and observe from afar before jumping in and doing anything.
I'm Lumberjack Allen, and my human fighter is named Hangman Windhammer, and he's a little aggressive when it comes to fighting. I.e., he jumps off banisters and just goes for it, regardless of reckless abandonment.
I'm Sniper Eye 2010. My character is Denville Alistair, a half-elf bard entertainer who loves to get drunk, play on a set of 4 drums, and just do crazy stuff, and apparently is not good at fighting. Or at least not against zombies.
And I am the dungeon master, because it says so underneath my picture in the upper left-hand corner. At the end of the last session, like I said, the inn had burned down, and the local mayor had requested that the players go and investigate why the hell there were zombies popping up in the middle of their scenic / tourist town. And as the embers spiral into the night sky, dawn just a couple of hours away, at this point, yeah, you guys are basically free to do whatever you would like. There's no place to stay because the inn burned down, but you guys can take a long rest and then determine what you guys are going to do for your determining where zombies came from.
Considering I'm at half health, or I would like to take a long rest.
Yeah,
Can
we're gonna
I-
be prepared for the next outing.
Can I try and convince the mayor to let us stay in his home or his office or whatever so we can rest up before we investigate?
He's definitely reticent to that, and as he looks from you guys to the burning inn in the background, and then back to you guys, back to the burning inn, pointedly advice, back
But
to the
is there
burning inn.
zombies?
He kind of
No, but there's not.
scratches his long beard. Yeah, all right. I could put you up in my office. It's the least destructible kindling place available.
All right, now let's get some wet towels or whatever we can get, and make sure we put it on Vice's hand so she can't set anything on fire. I mean, nothing on fire.
That's
That-
cute. You think you need my hands to set things on fire?
I was gonna say it's not like he's a Charmander or she's a Charmander. We're just like,
It's funny
Fine.
because in traditional like second edition AD&D, every adventurer had their own 10-foot pole, which was useful for determining traps and hitting things and all. Every adventurer is going to be carrying a bucket of water, a decanter of endless water, or something, asbestos blankets.
Asbestos blankets.
So, in any case, you guys are escorted through the town, and the dwarf makes very careful mention in a low voice to let's keep this whole thing on the down low. Let's not mention the whole zombie thing. He's gonna wave away, the inn burning as a little bit of an accident, but the whole thing with zombies just doesn't want to unsettle the town with the idea that undead were right here, and he's not really sure how he's gonna break the news that Ice Brew, which basically is the entire reason their town exists as a tourist spot slash trap. How he's going to break that to people that this dude's dead, and potentially the town's going to go under entirely because there's no more draw. No one's going to walk all the way out here to the edges of the universe full of ice and snow and crap just to get nothing. So, but in any case, he takes you all to we'll call it the town hall slash common meeting area where everybody can do their like town voting and all sorts of stupid stuff. And his office is surprisingly Spartan. Despite everything, you kind of would have expected him to have a little bit more than just a basic room with a desk and a simple wooden chair that would be very common at any sort of inn at a table, handmade, but crappy. And no paintings, no alcohol, no anything except for a bookcase with a lot of handwritten ledgers containing all of the information about town trade and all sorts of things. And he gestures, it's a large room, but there's almost nothing in it. You're welcome to put up wherever, just, don't burn anything.
fair enough.
So, for lack of anything else, unless you guys want to do a little bit of poking around in the middle of the night, you guys are welcome to just say that you're rested and restore your hit points to full, and then discuss amongst yourselves what you would like to do next.
I actually would like to take a look at the ledgers and try and find anything involving the brewery.
As I push to talk, I remember that. Okay, so I've moved your tokens over so you guys can edit them as far as. So as soon as the dwarf leaves, he does give a lingering glare in the doorway, then mutters to himself as he closes it. And notably, you hear him lock it, and then you hear him mutter to himself on the other side of the door, and then unlock it. But as you quickly paw through the ledgers, you find that most of the records do go back almost a century at this point. Mr. Mayor here has actually been here almost as long as Sarnellis Icebrew himself. Tooth Chipper showed up relatively shortly before the brewery itself was made, but while Ice Brew was just a elf, not man, making his brews and doing it. In fact, it was Hardrum Tooth Chipper that encouraged Ice Brew to kind of spread his delicious wares across the world and turn it into a thing. So they were fairly close friends. But yeah, the records go back about 100 years or so with meticulous notes on each batch that had been made, the number of kegs, the number of sales, where they were shipped to, and the like. This newest one was commissioned about 4 weeks ago and completed only just the other night. It was slated to be shipped to all over the world that I have yet to make a map for.
Hmm. Okay, were there any kind of incoming shipments from any specific places meted out in the ledger?
Nope. In fact, one of the key things that's noted very early on in the ledgers is that almost everything is local, but the most important key ingredient is that the water is special. It's from a local, very unknown cistern. In fact, Icebrew actually built his house around this well, not literally next to it, as in it exists inside of his building. And that is the only ingredient that he is super secretive about. And that he is insistent that this, not his own skill, is what actually creates the delicious taste of a cold iced brew.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, that seems really. We should probably check that out.
Oh yeah.
The Ice Brew Brewery is a combination of the brewery and its house that's a little bit outside of town. Is available to the public for tours between sunrise and sunset most days of the week.
Something tells me we want a little bit more than a tour.
So, uh, in this ledger, does you mentioned some of the things that the water and stuff like that. So I assume there's notes scribbled about and probably various things that as far as how he made it and stuff.
Not particularly because the recipes are closely guarded secret. However, go ahead and give me an investigation check, please. 22. That is pretty darn good. What did you seriously just roll a nat 20 on
Investigation.
I did.
on your first
All
roll?
downhill from here.
Wow, congratulations on wasting. Yeah, everything's just going to be miserable tonight. As you lay dying, bleeding out in some random dungeon, you're going to be thinking, at least I was really good at that investigation check before I died.
all I'm thinking is like if I die, it's like at least I learned the recipe before I died.
Well, as luck would have it, as you're pawing through the ledgers, which, there's 100 years on this bookshelf, between two of them, you find a little leather bound notebook about the size of a hand, like a little moleskin type of book. And what languages do you speak?
All of us, or just
Me, I'm trying to figure out what that's at. Okay, I speak, of course, Common. I speak Dwarvish and Elvish.
As luck would have it, this book is written in both Elven and Dwarf. Did you just stab the book?
what?
Weapon proficiency or rapier just popped up and just like
Wasted.
stab the book. So as you look through it, the book is like I said, written in a combination of Elvish and Dwarven, though both scripts are different hands. Someone else wrote the Elven part, but you assume based off of the lettering and the numbering and the ledgers that the Dwarven part was probably done by Tooth Chipper himself. And it appears to be a 5 to 10 year attempt to piece together the ingredients of various brews through surreptitious guessing on like hops and barley being imported and stuff. He's not 100% sure on the ratios of things, but he has a moderate clue on at least a couple of the brews, though Ice Brew itself, the most recent, the most deadly, is not in there because he only tasted it just earlier this night. So he doesn't really know what all's in it. It hasn't been recorded.
Then, seeing all this, I make note of anything that does have from previous batches.
Surprisingly, it all seems to correlate with other previous batches. Barley, hops, process, malting it, letting it ferment, various yeasts. Yeasts were apparently imported as well and used previously. In fact, as far as everything goes, it looks like a bog standard golden brew type of beer.
Hmm.
A pale ale, as it were.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, like I said, I make note of anything.
Well,
Okay.
we are in the mayor's office. I'm assuming he has a hidden stash of liquor.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
What self-respecting mayor wouldn't?
Especially someone who literally was screaming at us that we burnt down. We got rid of the ale, and that was the only thing he seemed to care about.
With an 8, you keenly notice that there's a desk in the middle of the room with a chair behind it, and 3 other adventurers looking completely confused as to why you're standing on the desk, looking around,
Oh my
trying
god.
to figure out what's going on.
I guess we can say
Unfortunately,
I'm
an
still
8
under
is
the
not quite
effects
good
of the
enough.
alcohol.
I think we should get some sleep and start our investigation bright in the afternoon.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. For lack of anything else, everybody beds on down, presuming you have bed rolls, and the remainder of the evening passes relatively uneventfully, and you were woken somewhere after dawn by Tooth Chipper wandering into his own office, looking as if he's making sure everything is in a unburned state.
Surprise. Everything's fine.
Yeah, he pushes open the door and actually gives like a ginormous smile. Huh, look at that. Everything's intact. I'm surprised.
I feel like that's an insult, but that's fine.
So quickly, he reaches into his man purse, we'll call it a messenger bag, and pulls out 4 folded and sealed with wax and a signet depicting a flagon type of device on it. And without meeting anyone's eyes, presses one into each of your hands. Well, I suppose that this will probably help.
What this?
Yeah.
This will at least make it somewhat official that you're working for me. It's not going to let you do anything that you want. Oh, hell no. But it'll at least allow people to answer you while believing that they're working for me.
Oh.
So in other words, no burning anything. Got it.
If you want to pop one open, you're welcome to. It's not like the seals needs to be intact or anything. You can read.
At the bard's comment, I just look around like, who is he trying to figure out who he's talking to?
What? Who?
What?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it out.
Okay. Basically, yeah, the language is that, the bearer of this is under the authority of the mayor of town, Tooth Chipper, insofar as an investigation, not named, he doesn't want to into the investigation of the dead elf and the loss of the entire crop and everything that the town holds dear. No, basically that you guys are able to question people and that any answers that are given to you are as with the authority of the mayoral office itself, but implies that that's as far as it goes. It doesn't allow you access to anything. You're not allowed to go break into people's homes. You can't steal things and claim that you're under. It's just basically, if you ask questions, you should be answered.
Fair enough. All right, I dig it.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so where should we? I say we go to the brewer house itself
Agreed.
and take a look around there.
Agreed.
All right, Tooth Chipper quickly ushers you on out. Well, no time waiting for everything to get going. Please leave my office in the relative manner that you found it. Shoot, go, find out what's going on and save this town. Quick.
You got it, sir.
Vice
Wait,
thanks him
wait.
with a smile, but she also sneezes and a little bit of sparks fly.
Did we ever negotiate
He'll
what the
flinch.
payment was going to be? I just now realized that.
Good. Oh yeah, that's actually. I don't think we did.
No.
Wait a
you
second,
did not.
Mayor. All right, so I'm going to turn to the mayor and be like, wait a second. Wait a flippin' second. We never discussed payment or any upfront payments.
He eases himself into his chair with a long sigh. Yeah, about that. All right, well, you understand that I'm not going to have much of an income in the near future. This town relied entirely on traffic of people coming to see Ice Brew and Ice Brew's beers. Without him, without my old friend, I don't know how much we're going to be able to do. I could see my way clear 200 gold to figure out what's going on here.
I'd say 250 gold and a bottle of the best ale that you have here in town because we almost died last night with a problem that doesn't even involve us originally.
Oh, yeah, all right. That makes total sense. 250 and a bottle of ale. Let me just go get it from the only place that kept the ale in town. Now, where would that be? Oh, right. The Ice Brew Tavern that burned down this morning.
Well, your loyal mayorness, you mean to tell me that your brewer didn't have any more in his brew shop?
Are we really gonna fuss over payment on a one brew bottle?
He
I'm
Hey,
gonna
stares.
leave.
He stares at you. Well, that would probably be something you want to take up with the owner of the estate, which would be his son now that he is less than employed in the living realm now.
Fair enough.
However, I do have some healing potions I promised you. And he pushes his foot down on a floorboard and kind of wedges it, and an entire little thing pivots on up, revealing like a shelf that was held into the floor that pops on up with some bottles sticking on out. And he pulls out a couple of bottles of a hard liquor, dwarven style, big runes etched on the bottles, puts them on his desk, and then fishes out two, presumably healing potions, and then hands them on over. Yep, this is all that we've got.
I'll take one. I'm not gonna say no to that.
Our front
Okay.
lines can have it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then you take
anyone
the
that
other.
wants, it is 2d4 plus 2. Let me
Mhm.
2d4 plus 2 potion of healing. And then as you guys are about to leave, he grabs one of the bottles, unscrews the cap, and starts sipping directly from it. And that's where the alcohol was held. In any case, you're welcome to go.
I'm already on the way.
I'm out the door as well.
I'm
Let's
heading
keep
up.
up with the pyromaniac before she sets anything else ablaze.
Oh, I'm watching her closely.
Glued.
The brewery itself, as well as Ice Brew's actual home, is a little ways north of town, just far enough that, it's clearly separate from the town, but close enough that one could walk there even in the heaviest of snowstorms with a little bit of effort. It's a lot smaller than you would have expected. And as noted, it does seem to be a single building establishment, though of the sort where a building was built and then added on to ramshackle over the years. It looks a lot less elven than one would have expected. In fact, it looks like multiple mobile homes kind of crafted together over time, lovingly, poorly, but nonetheless a cobble together of multiple buildings. The oldest, clearly, is a large barn-like building that sits kind of in the center with outbuildings that are surrounding it, kind of like spokes of a wheel, covered walkways or ramshackle like plywood-esque walls bridging them together.
Hmm.
A little bit of smoke rises from multiple chimneys. And it does not appear that anyone has come through and shoveled the road between town and here since everything started falling the night before. No footsteps. No one seems to have been out here since before the night. You do see that there's evidence of wagon wheels, presumably from when Icebrew himself and his wife came from their home, but nothing has gone out there since then.
I'm going to approach the front door and I'm going to knock on it loudly.
After a couple of seconds, a human of about 14 years, male, opens the door. Shaggy long hair, very, very dirty-esque looking, and a beard. 14 years old and a scraggly little beard. Bleary-eyed, exhausted looking, red eyes. He blinks and stares at you. The tours are not until this afternoon. We're closed at the moment.
I'm going to raise up the seal the mayor gave us and say, we're not here for a tour, specifically.
He squints at it and reads, "Well, I could read a little bit. Me pa taught me how to read letters so that I could help with the brewing. What's this about?"
There was an accident last night at the tavern, and we're here to take a look into things. And we were told that the best place to start would actually be here.
The kid actually gives a chuckle, and despite the fact that he looks like he hasn't slept, rubs his eyes and kind of laughs. A little bit of trouble. Yeah, that sounds like. I'm guessing our mayor got a little bit drunk on the new brew, and problems ensued. Huh? That's not the first time, nor will it be the last time. No, come in, come in. My parents aren't home though. You'll have to be careful. Don't touch anything that looks important. Any gestures?
Who's going to tell him?
Yeah, about that. This might be the last time it happens.
Okay.
I think we need to sit down and have a discussion.
He turns to stare at you, holding the door. Last time the
You know,
mayor gets drunk. Oh
No,
now
the end came
that-
down with your parents in it.
he stops
Jesus
laughing.
Christ! All right.
Just gonna rip that
way to go,
Band-Aid right
Danzig.
off.
Just rip the band-aid off.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking just
He retreats into the house and sits down on a fairly large plush leather couch. Within, there's a lot of like end tables that are stacked, covered in books. they don't appear to be like brewery type of stuff. They actually appear to be tomes of education, history, adventure, that sort of thing. He sits down and immediately a big old overweight tabby cat hops up onto his lap and he absentmindedly rubs it behind the ears. I'm sorry. Did you say that the inn burned down with my parents?
Yes, and a bunch of other patrons from the town. Mayor's alive. That's good. We're alive. We were there.
He nods entirely absentmindedly. Perhaps you should start at the beginning. I don't understand.
All right, hang on, guys. Are we gonna be completely honest with him? Go
We
halfway with
should
the story with
probably
him, or
leave out the part that they one turned to zombies, and we should also leave out that we caused the fire.
So how about
oh
we?
no! I'm telling him who the fuck started the fire.
No.
And then I'm telling them about the
No,
zombies.
We're not telling him. We
Hey.
need information.
Guys, why don't we? This is not our town. It's not our place. So why don't we leave that? Point him to the mayor to discuss it. The mayor can tell him what he feels that he needs to know.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I can go with that.
So
We're just-
I look to the kid and say to him, I believe that would be something you best discuss with the mayor. We are here to do a job he has asked of us. May we look around?
He nods completely numbly. Sure. Whatever you need, I'll be here.
Poor kid.
And then I begin to look around.
All right. Well, this entryway appears to, or this living room seems to be one of the more recent additions to the house. Recent is in within the last 10 years. It's not carpeted. The walls are completely bare, just hewn log. I'm trying to think of the word. Beams, boards just tacked on up, nailed there. It's very ramshackle for a dude that spread beers all across the land and brought joy to drunks everywhere. It really seems odd just how ramshackle. You think he would have had more money and could have afforded someone. Maybe they just don't have people that do housing up here in any case. So this living room, there's a couple of couches. Like I said, there's books all over the place. There's bookshelves on the wall, just crammed full of papers and ledgers and stuff. A lot of them do not appear to be in a good condition, as if they've been left out in the weather. I mean, given how wet and cold this area is, paper is not really conducive in this environment. So a lot of it is molded, crumbling, brittle, but it appears that someone here at least was a collector of various works.
I would like to roll a perception check to try and find any kind of tome or book involving magic of conjuration.
Got it. Go for it. Digging through the books, just glancing at the titles or the various front pages and whatnot, you don't notice any books deliberately on conjuring, nor do you find any books on magic in general, other than a couple of short fantasy pieces that appear to be erotic fiction. It's kind of.
I would like to take one of those books and put it in my bag for later.
This is evidence. I'm gonna read this.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna take it and pocket it and just keep moving.
Okay, you slip it into your backpack.
Okay,
And
I have a hunch.
Go ahead.
I asked
have a
him where the. I asked the kid where the where he does the brewery is, so I can go walk around there and take.
He waves a vague hand towards a hallway that leads further into the ramshackle construction and buildings. It's in the center.
Okay.
And we heard from sources that the secret ingredient seems to be a very special source of water. Do you know where that source of water is? Is in the actual brewery?
Oh, it's the well. Yeah, that's my dad used to get all the water from that. It's in the center. We built this place around. Well, they did. I was an orphan. Am an orphan again, I suppose.
Then I head on back toward the water source.
I wrote this backstory before everything, so okay. You guys are like, wow, that's awkward. Anyway, I'm gonna go and investigate.
Yeah,
I go do my job.
let's get out of here.
I can try comforting him.
No.
No.
Yeah, I see exactly how it's going. There, it's okay. Oh my God, your hair's on fire.
Pat, pat. Pat's harder. Pat's out the fire. Quick, quick, quick.
So the actual brewery is, as noted, the original building in this area, which does appear to be probably about a century old. It's a fairly expansive open pole style barn without any real amount of walls. There's no drywalling, there's no anything of the sort. It's just an open barn. There are multiple fireplaces, big old heavy iron bastards that keep the place decently warm, since yeast does kind of need a specific temperature in order to do its thing. There are two, but only two, very large, like 100-gallon copper drums used for the fermenting process and whatnot, and a series of open, very old oak barrels around this side, as well as series of shelves and baskets and various things that are painstakingly labeled in Elven on what they are. And since half the party apparently or more can read Elven, it's like hops and barley, yeast, et cetera, this sort of thing. The thing that catches your eye most of all is in the center, and this building appears to have just been slapped down on top of dirt from way far back in the day, because there's still like rocks and little bits of grass that are growing up from, there's no floor. It's just literally bare ground beneath. In the dead center of the room is a curious circle opening about 10 feet across or so, the stones of which are fit together so perfectly and so meticulously that there doesn't appear to be any room to put mortar in between. The stones are aged, weathered, cracked, old, but poking out of it is a large metallic device, and the metal gleams. It glistens without any sort of the dullness of steel. It looks highly polished, despite the fact that it's sticking out of this gigantic well. And you can see that there is a series of pulleys at the top, and that there is a cable that is apparently made of metal that also gleams brightly as if recently burnished, that heads on down into the depth. Go ahead and give me perception checks, anyone that wants to kind of take a poke at it.
All right. Good God, why do I keep rolling low on perception and not?
Still a little hungover.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess so. Drank too much the night before, but you know what? That's what makes a good bard entertaining.
Okay. Those of you that got a 10 or higher, sorry about that, Sniper. Basically, the cable is about as thick as a person's wrist. It is enormous, but when you actually grab it, it moves as if it was a silken rope. It is metal, it feels metal, but it's no metal that you've ever felt before. And as it circles through the pulley, you can see that when you pull on it, deep down, there's darkness just far below. And after a little bit of working on it, a decent sized like 5-gallon bucket that's attached to it with a little, I don't know what you'd call it, like a pintle type of thing that allows it to pivot on a axle, comes on up full of water. And it basically allows for someone to hand over hand lower this bucket, and this bucket is still made of the same silvery material, lightweight despite the fact that it is a 5-gallon bucket, and it drops deep into the depths and then circles back on up, allowing you to bring up water, lower it again and again. The thing that you do notice is that based off of the time period and how long it takes to move it, you would guess that it's probably well over 300 feet to where the water level resides, far, far below.
All right.
Can,
Well,
can I?
I'm looking for the well.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can I walk over to it and do some type of check to see if the water might be contaminated in some way?
If you have nature, you could go ahead and do that. Otherwise, unless you've got some sort of magical skills, I don't think that you've got anything that would allow you to just determine that at a glance or at a touch.
Yeah, no, my Arcana and my Nature are the same, so
Okay, either of those would probably be useful.
You can roll nature, and I'll do an arcana.
Unnatural 20.
It was actually an 18, I think. Yeah, but close. Either way, the 20 is sufficient that when you kind of rub the water between your fingers and sniff at it, yeah, it's definitely water. I mean, there's no additives. You don't detect anything when you look at it. In the bucket, there doesn't appear to be like anything swimming in it, or it looks completely natural. Frigid, very cold. Like it would probably be chilled to just a degree above freezing. but nothing unusual about it. With an 18 Arcana, just kind of running through your magical senses, pushing them out towards the water and getting a feel of it. Nothing seems unusual, but there is a faint aura coming from the water, some sort of necromantic aura.
Ooh, we found the problem.
However, I would say that it doesn't feel necessarily evil, nor does it feel good. It feels almost a combination of both.
It's still the problem.
It does appear to be something to do with it.
Well, we need to get down there. Who wants to hold the rope and lower me down?
I can do it.
Yeah, given how thick the cable is and the bucket there, it's a 5-gallon bucket. You could easily stand in that and be lowered down.
What do you want to do? Go down and drink some or what?
I'm gonna go see what's down there.
I mean, she is an endless source of light, so she can see.
It's very true.
For the record, I think it's a bad idea.
I'll
You want to
lower
come
her
with
down.
me then?
No,
Nope.
that would be even worse idea. Me trapped in a small confined space with the pyrokinetic. No. No,
The
thank you.
pyro who saved you,
Yeah, and almost killed us just as easily.
but killed all the zombies and saved you.
Okay, we can have this argument all day. I am going to lower. I'll lower. I'm blanking on what is
I
it?
never knew a bard would shy away from a woman. What kind of bard are you? I'm gonna be in the bucket now.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh.
Don't worry, you're the one who's still butthurt.
I'm going to lower Vice.
Okay. Vice, you vanish on down, and you can create light at will easily enough, correct?
Yeah, I just got control flames. I got 5-foot cube of fire just kind of looming above me.
Okay. As you are lowered into the depths, you can tell that the stones here are definitely predating the building around it. This appears to be fairly ancient, though, without doing any sort of deeper check. You're not sure exactly how old, but they are meticulously crafted in such a way that they form a circumference of about a diameter of about 10 feet across, and are so perfectly set together that, like I said, there doesn't appear to be any mortar between them, and it makes it entirely waterproof. It is amazing how well crafted these stones are. And as you lower yourself on down, or get lowered, 300 feet down, just before you get to the bottom, you can see that it opens up, and that there is a stone floor and a pool set into that stone floor, and that the apparatus that holds everything, as well as the bucket and cable, goes to another pulley that is underneath the water there. It looks like there is a pool that this pulls water from.
So I'm in like what looks like a small cave under here where the water is. So
Yes, indeed.
see.
Let's try this. Give me a second to see if this works.
All right.
Ooh.
That is not the right map.
It shouldn't be there anymore.
You go down there and it's another tavern. Just
Well, at
actually
least it's
alive,
dark
was
like
it?
it is in the well, right?
So with 60 feet of dark vision, Mortanis, can I see any sconces or torches or anything along the walls that are unlit or lit?
Not at the moment. Give me a second to fill out the map here.
All right.
Okay, Palace, you want to zoom out the map and try to find where everybody is? It's really dark.
Whoa.
Oh, I see it. Whoa.
Yeah, but dark for you.
Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to see that. I'm trying to make sure everyone else can see it too.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to step out of the bucket and onto the stone floor, and I'm going to take a look around.
That's interesting.
All right, can all the players actively see it? I'm going to move you guys off the map, but you guys can see it, right?
Yes, I can
No,
find.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it up. I'm having some technical difficulties.
It did take a minute to load, but I did. I finally.
Okay. So, because I don't want to move people around and accidentally give something of their only vices down there, yeah, you find yourself in a room with these alcoves surrounding all around, and then that pool there that shows the water goes down to about 15 feet or so, and you can see that there's a current, fairly heavy and swift, and the device, the gigantic pole as well as the pulley and the weird cables heads on down into that, and whatever you can tell, that current implies that there is water coming from another source within here, but it appears to be a well in a building deep, deep underground. The alcoves are currently empty. There is dust all over the place, though there are a series of footprints, heavy booted ones, that have cleared off the dust relatively recently, you would say.
Hmm. That's not good. Okay. I want to take my explorers pack, scribble down a note, and I'm going to take one of my daggers and I'm going to stick it into the bucket. And the note's going to say, "There's an entire temple down here. Come on down."
Okay. You
And
can easily
I'm gonna
send
tug
that
the
back on
rope.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's pulled back on up, and you guys can read the note.
All right. Well, I'll just lower everyone else down one at a time, and
Well,
if,
hold
if they
on a
want to
second
go.
here. So, if you lower us down, how do you get down?
We'll just raise the bucket.
It's
I'll get in and just.
It's a cyclical type of thing. There's a pulley at the top, pulley at the bottom. So the three of you at the bottom would be able to lower the last person by just
okay.
letting out slack. It would just don't let it slide through the hands. That could hurt.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure he wasn't going to fall to his death trying to get down there.
That'd be hilarious, but no.
All right, then I go down first.
Okay. Nothing prevents you. There's no problems. I'm not going to make anyone fail a strength check and plummet to their death here. So you guys make it down safe and sound, revealing the same room as described. The alcoves are empty, and you hear nothing except for the sound of dripping water. The walls here, unlike the tunnel itself that lowers down into the well, the walls here are more hewn rock, little rivulets of water from cracks, ancient and weathered, kind of run through. The floor is kind of wet in places, but there is dust, as noted, footsteps sweeping it away. A lot of moss, a lot of lichen. The air just kind of smells wet, a little fetid.
Hmm. Gross.
And as the only way out, you see, are two doors set in the southern wall. Now, notably, the doors are very, very intricately carved wood. They don't depict anything other than a series of geometric patterns, fractal almost.
All right.
Hmm. So, before we go any further, it's probably safe to assume that with that necromantic energy in the water, we're going to run into more undead.
Joy.
Yep. And
So,
I assume because of the rolls earlier that we all know about the necromancy thing, or does he have to tell us?
I would have had to tell you.
Yeah, unless he explicitly said, and do you explicitly say that?
Oh, no, that slipped my mind.
Okay, so no one is aware that the water is contaminated with ooky energies.
Fine.
But I can tell you that right now, there is foul magics at play, and we're probably going to run into more undead.
After you guys were stomping around in the water, no less. That's when he tells you.
Yeah, well, details.
Does anyone have any cuts? Maybe a hangnail on one of their toes? Because that could be a problem.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Not
All
that I'm
right,
aware
well,
of.
do you guys want to come up with a standardized marching order? Because it would be convenient for me when paying attention to initiative and surprise.
Who's the high? I say the highest armor class walks first.
no, let's just send Vice up there because if anything jumps out, I don't want her burning us.
I think it
I'm
should.
not some panicky little chicken.
I think it should.
No, but you are a pyromaniac who loves to burn everything and downed Alan once when we already got him back up. So let's keep the crazy pyromaniac in front so she can burn everything that's in front of her, not behind her.
I'm
That's
in.
it. I'm going to set fire to some torches.
I'm in favor. of me going first because, to my knowledge, I have the higher armor class and most hit points. So
By the
I
way, does
can,
anyone have torches?
I have, yes, I do have a torch.
Yes.
Go ahead and let me light those for you because if you run into a zombie, the only thing that's going to keep it down is fire.
Yep. I'll-
Unless some of you know a god that can give a little bit of energy to this.
No, my character doesn't believe in religion. I'll take it. I'll take the fire. Thank you.
We'll all end up burning then.
All right, who's all lighting a torch?
Me.
Oh,
I guess we all three are.
Everybody's got fire. Okay.
I am the torch.
the human torch.
All right, we got 3 lit torches, and now you can use that to burn the remains.
So
Also, in case you get separated, you don't have to rely on Vice to provide light down here because it is dark.
yep.
Very much so.
We
So
get separated. Vice, help!
so
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was in the front to avoid burning people.
I that wasn't me who said that.
knowing that what could be down here, can I with my have torch in one hand and ready my like crossbow in the other,
Sure.
just in case we run into anything?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
All right, Hangam, you be first. What would you like to do?
If the doors are not open, I'd like to open the doors and then not
They
walk
are.
through.
They are
Yeah.
currently closed. Now, because we don't have a rogue, it would be really unfair to trap a lot of stuff. So we won't be seeing a lot of that sort of thing because it's really kind of shitty to make things that could only be disarmed by one character class that we don't have. So you guys aren't really going to have to worry about traps for that sort of a thing. So the door swings wide.
All right, I'll walk through.
Right behind, I guess.
I'm going to make sure to grab my dagger off the bucket that I impaled it on before I leave.
Smart man.
You coming, Denville?
I'm coming.
All right, left or right, gents?
I'm actually wondering why Drusilla can't see anything here. Could you slide forward a little bit further past the door, please?
I don't think it's physically letting me do it.
It's not letting me.
Yeah, I'm having
I
problems
thought-
with it as well. Like it's taking forever just to try to move mine.
There it went.
Yeah, I have you guys locked inside of the thing. I think it's because you guys were trying to walk through. Oh, I know why. Okay, yeah.
Did I break it?
No, I actually had to physically remove the thing that blocks the lighting. It's first time I've
Oh.
actually used this in like 2 years. So the door is independent of the layer that handles dynamic lighting.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
So now y'all should be able to see it.
Yep.
All right, so what are you guys thinking? I'm thinking we go down. Go down like this way.
To the right. To
You
the right.
lead the way.
Okay, I'll go this. I'll walk to this hallway and we'll see what this goes.
While we're leaving, I'm going to take my dagger and I'm going to carve a triangle into this wall as a marker.
Okay, good idea.
So I'm just going to freehand a little.
All right, heading on forward, you don't see anything other than a series of hallways and corners. Distantly, the sound of dripping water is intensified, but it's not like a deluge. It's just dripping water, but it sounds louder, echoing around you, coming back from all directions. Other than that, you hear no sounds anywhere within this. It is quiet, ethereally quiet, like a thick, heavy darkness, most likely because you're so below the earth right now, but it presses in on you from all directions, almost as if kind of squeezing away the light of your torch.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't like that. Okay. Um.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we need to be as quiet as possible.
Did we
Right, our
lose
people
Danville? I
down
don't
here.
see his icon.
It's not letting me move it. It's freezing up on my end. I don't know why.
Okay, for the time being, I can move you, but you might have to reload roll 20 again.
I want to mention that there was a set of footprints when I first came down here, so there's people down here other than us.
Should we follow those footprints?
Actually, once you're out into the hallway, they seem to get mixed in with the grime that's growing on the floor. Everything is covered in a fine layer of squishy, wet, fetid mold. Your footsteps kind of squelch as you work your way on through.
Ugh. Okay, cool. Sure. Let's go. Let's go up the staircase here. Is this a staircase? It looks like a staircase.
Indeed, it is. After a light series of steps, I try to move you out of the way. Hold on.
Sorry, I'll back up.
Another triangle.
Ooh, there's a thing.
I like things.
Um, this looks like a. This looks like an evil layers table.
This enormous room has a single main item, as you can tell, a gigantic table with plenty of seating. The chairs have all molded, long since fallen apart, the upholstery molded and tattered, the wood rotting. Even as you kind of approach one of them, it kind of sloughs apart in a wet squelch. Go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
That is disgusting.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking solid.
We're wonderful.
And there's my low roll.
Checking on anyone else that wants to make the roll.
Yeah, I'm
Can you
trying
make
to
the
load
roll
back
now?
in now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a nat 3 there, Rofanak. That's a +3. Whatever's in the parenthesis is the bonus.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Thank you for that clarification. That I did not. I
Now, if you
thought
hover
those
your
were-
mouse over the number, it'll tell you the actual number.
Ah, I see. I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 3. I rolled a nat 3.
All right. Well, actually, 11 is going to be sufficient for this in any case. So let me find it here. The table itself seems to be in an okay state of repair because it's just so hefty that even the age, the water, the weathering hasn't managed to eat through the thick, enormous wood. Though filthy, it is covered in grime and muck nonetheless. You can see that there are additional footprints in this room, circling, crisscrossing all over the place. It's hard to tell which direction they were coming from, which direction they were going. And as like the rest of the place, the grime-covered floor makes it very difficult to tell anything other than there are footprints here. How old and how many figures made them? With an 11, that's not quite. Oh, there's that 21. There were 2 sets of footprints, 2 distinct individuals making them. Thank you, 21.
Yeah, sorry it took so long to roll it there, Mortanis. I'm just having technical difficulties.
I know how it goes. No worries.
As I suspected, this is a evil layers big man table.
Big
Like,
man table, you say?
You know, like those dudes who have like those evil people, like stereotypical movies where they have like everyone sitting around and they like pitch ideas and one dude's just walking around.
I
And
think back home in Holloway, we call that a war table.
that's the phrase I was looking for. Thank you.
Whoop. I typed that into the wrong one, but I'm sure you can see that. It's the bonus based on the stat and proficiency. I've got game chat and stream chat side by side here,
Yeah.
and I'm easily confused.
Yeah, so
Oh.
you take the big numbers to track the parentheses one. That's what you actually rolled.
Yeah, actually, you could show them mouse over the 21 there, Mr. Palace, and it'll display it for him.
Or it should, but it's not. Mm.
All right, well,
Give it a
that's
click.
weird.
No, Palace did roll 3. So did.
Yeah, it's just confusing that it's not popping up.
Yeah.
It should. There's a tooltip for it. In any case, there's nothing else inside this room other than torch sconces that are set into the wall, ancient iron, and no torches.
All right. I assume this hallway just leads back. Or
Only
was
one
it-
way to find out.
It does.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's go down this hallway. Or where's this?
To the doors there at the south. Waiting
Yeah.
for the map to catch up on stream here.
No, it's okay.
These doors are the same thick wooden doors with intricate carvings on them. However, instead of the more abstract kind of fractal designs on this one, even though age has worn these down, you can tell that there are figures on each of the doors facing inward, very similar in shape and style to the Argonath in Lord of the Rings, the gigantic statues there. One is a figure whose face is marred just from age, the weathering, water, and mildew and the like has just destroyed the wood. But one figure in flowing robes is holding a hand kind of up and facing the other door. And on that door, there's a figure who's facing the other and holding a hand up also. So the two figures are facing the inward with their hands pressed like that. And as you push on the door, it gives with a heavy groan, the hinges squealing, and then one of the doors just rips entirely free, the hinges tearing clean out of the wood and collapsing down. Heavy, thundering boom as the thick wood slams into the squelchy ground, but it still hits stone nonetheless, and the boom echoes throughout the entirety of the complex.
I immediately hunch over and go, sorry.
So much for stealth.
Fool of a tuck!
I just touched it.
It's okay.
All right, well,
Nothing to worry about.
I'm sure it's fine. They didn't need that door anyways.
Denville, if you'd be so kind as to keep an eye on our backs.
Okay, then, yeah, I'll hold right here.
Okay, let's see. Ooh. This way.
This room is massive, even by the standards of the room with the gigantic table. These gigantic square pillars that are slowly coming into visibility on the stream itself here hold up the roof some 20 feet on up above. Alcoves set into the walls here reveal that there are caskets, stone
Ooh.
caskets set into them. Relatively non haphazardly. I mean, they appear to have at least once been placed in an orderly fashion on shelves within those alcoves. They are all inscribed, stone chiseled on the top, with figures, though their features have long since worn away. Further to the south, which is not visible on the map currently because it's not scrolled up, the two enormous pools. That's the other way. Scroll the other way.
You said up, so I scrolled
Yes,
up.
scroll it up. Yes, there you go.
There
You
we
can
go.
just make out a little bit of one of these gigantic pools of water, literally like fountain type of things. On top of each of these little caskets of stone, there are rolled scrolls, moldering, ancient, cracked. You're not sure how well it would do to unroll one of them, but they are, paper rolled on top of there. Let's see here. And that is the room that you see.
Mm,
Now would be a good time to say, let's not drink any of the water. It's not exactly clean.
I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but thank you.
Might we at least want to get a sample of it to take back to town?
If you want to bring the town into a zombie horde,
I'd rather you didn't.
there's
I mean-
necromantic energy all in that water. At least in the water we found earlier.
But does that mean all the water has it?
I mean,
Good
I could try and
question.
find out.
If you want to arcana that, you're welcome to.
I do, but I also am wary of the caskets behind us.
That is a pretty decent roll. Yes, the water is similarly tainted. Again, it's a mix of that kind of dark, kind of not dark. I don't want to say light, but good and evil both mixed in there. It definitely is not neutral, but there are two opposing poles of energy diffused within the liquid.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I see that. You might have to refresh their palace. I look fancy.
We all look in a very peculiar.
Refresh what
Yep.
exactly?
Roll 20 because it looks okay in Discord, but we're all frozen in roll 20.
Yep.
Yes, Palace is the host.
Yep. No quick refresher.
Well, then again, you might have to redo the scenes because that's coming from Discord, our cameras, and that has nothing to do with roll 20 crap.
Hmm.
Well, I'd already refreshed, so
All good. Ruh-roh.
Raggy.
Well, while
Yeah.
we're trying to get this figured out, Mortanis, this is a lovely, lovely dungeon.
Yes, I stole it from the internet. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Well, while they get our cams figured out, I'm gonna go explore some caskets. Oh,
oh,
Well, this would probably be a good time to take a AFK bio break anyway, since it's been about an hour, and I could use a stretch break to get me another soda here. So, Palace, do you want to work on the cameras while we do a little quick breaky poo?
sure.
All right, everybody, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Came to me in a dream, like a subconscious impulse. I can see it right in front of me.
Out of curiosity, y'all can't hear me chewing on the popcorn, can you?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
And we're back, everybody.
Hello.
We
It
are
appears our
returned.
technical difficulties have been undifficulted.
They have.
All right, let's see. Vice was going to go investigate the coffins in the alcoves. Denville, what are you doing?
I'm kind of just hanging around, make sure we don't get jumped.
Good
Because I
idea.
mean, that loud door dropping like it did, something had to hear that. So I'm just
Okay.
kind of keep my eyes peeled.
Drusilla?
I'm kind of keeping an eye out as well.
Okay. And Hangam?
I'm doing like a patrol, just like waltzing around.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so Vice, you approach, and yeah, there's 3 coffins per alcove. Each of them has a little scroll that's been set very, I won't say meticulously because after who knows how long, the paper is weathered, torn, and whatnot. But each of them, on top of the inscribed stone coffin lid, which do appear to be sealed, by the way, has a little rolled up parchment.
Okay, I want to take the rolled up parchment of this one on the left and read it. If I can.
Okay. Yes. Give me a second to roll to see if it falls. Nice. You managed to pick it up and very carefully unroll it. It holds together. Curiously, it appears to be in a language of nothing immediately evident. What languages do you speak?
And I know Infernal and Elven.
It appears to be some very strange dialect of Elven. Based off of everything, you would have to guess a very, very old form of Elven and then a variant of an old form of Elven. Ancient, thousands of years.
Okay, well, let me just go ahead and do this then. I'm going to burn a spell slot and cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay.
So up to an hour, I can understand any spoken language that I hear, and I can understand any written language that I see. I'm touching the surface of which the words are written.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that after you do that, you're able to piece together the differences between an ancient version of Elvish and a modern version of Elvish. So once the spell runs off, you'll be able to read it with a little bit of difficulty, but without having to recast each and every time.
Okay.
You've managed to kind of Rosetta Stone yourself.
Woohoo!
So this particular one is a prayer and a poem that commemorates the deeds of a saint that they did in their life to a holy god named Lifemaker, named He Who Brings Salvation to the Darkness.
Life Maker, he who brings salvation to the darkness.
And each of those are in caps. I mean, He Who Brings Salvation to the Darkness. There's a full time.
Hell of a title.
Indeed.
Okay, and I would like to I want to push the lid only slightly off just so I can get a peek inside and see if there's anything in there.
Tempting
Okay,
fate there, man.
It doesn't take too much effort to kind of slide it on out, and you see that there are a set of bones within there, covered in what was probably clothing at once, but over the ages, the water has just worn it all away. Immediately upon pushing it open, wet air rolls on out. It's actually not terribly unpleasant smelling. It's kind of a sweet, sickly smell. It's not decay so much as mildew and mold blossoming type of a thing. But yeah, there's a skeleton on in there, ancient, decrepit, very not moving.
Okay, I'm going to reseal it. And then make a mental note that probably each of these probably have a skeleton in there, and that means that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 3 in every alcove, 5, 10, 30 different potentials for a zombie. I don't like these numbers.
I foresee a tactical retreat in our future.
Oh, the bard learned what that means.
Wow, look at that nat 20. A ghostly hand of darkness, shadow made flesh, reaches on up through the top of the casket and swipes through you. Cold stabs at your soul as it drags fingers through your flesh, through your heart, through your innards.
Mm,
And you lose 4 points of strength.
Oh,
Wait,
And-
excuse me. You take 9 points of damage and 4 points of strength. That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Yeah, 2d. Yeah, it's 9 points of damage and 2 points. No, 4 points of strength. It says that right there. Wow, that's weird how it doesn't group them together.
It doubled. No, it looks like they doubled the strength drain, and it did not necrotic damage. So
Oh,
it
yeah,
looks
that is
like
double.
I've taken 14 damage, and I've lost 7 strength.
That should not be the case. Hold on. Why did it double everything? It's 2d6 plus 2 plus 1d4. And we've apparently got twice as many dice as are necessary. Let me try that again.
I was about to say, if, if that was the actual roll, man.
Okay. It's clearly correct in my character sheet. Hit 2d6 plus 2 necrotic plus 1d4 strength damage. So why is it doubling up? I do not have advantage on, which wouldn't matter in this case anyway.
It's the nat 20 rules that doubles all the damage dice or dice being dealt.
Yes, it's supposed to maximize. I'll have to figure out what the setting is for that. So, the actual would be 2d6 plus 2 would be maximized to 14 and 4 points of strength.
Well, let me just go ahead and drop that down to a 4 in strength, and I'm dead.
Good night, sweet prince. The rest of you, you actually don't see what happens other than Vice just drops straight to the ground like a marionette with the strings cut.
Okay, I'm gonna run over there and try to figure out what the heck just happened.
Vice, did you take a 2d4 plus 2 with you?
Yeah, who all had? No, I think it went to the frontliners.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
rolled
about to
it.
say I should have one and you should have one there, Alan.
Okay, then I'm gonna go over there, pop mine, or give mine to her.
Wait, what the heck is this new emblem that just popped up on the map?
That would be the enemy.
Roll for
Oh, for
initiative.
Christ's sake! Alright.
Did I get healed before initiative?
They will be able to act during initiative.
Okay, I'm down. These rolls.
So we're rolling for initiative right now.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
At least I got my 1 out of the way in a good way.
Hang on. Can I just point out that I rolled a nat 20 for initiative?
Right
It
after
happens.
Lumberjack rolls on that 1 for initiative.
Like I said, at least I got the 1 out of the way on initiative.
Oh boy. I mean, I got a 3 on initiative. What I rolled.
Just in case, Vice, you might as well roll initiative anyway, in case you manage to pop back up.
If I manage to pop back up.
Hold up here, so we're ready to go with
Britannis, you haven't stopped rolling initiative there.
it.
Nope, there are unfortunately 4 targets.
I'm just
Roughneck, we don't even know who we're fighting yet. All we know is Vice just went down and was just like, "Oh," and dropped. And now we're rolling because apparently there's guys just popping up out of the graves.
All right, Denville, it is your turn. You
Oh,
seem to
shit.
be first.
All
I
right,
forgot that we don't do initiative and the lower number is fastest. I forgot about that.
I am going to heal up Vice using that potion. So what was that? What was the
2d4
die
plus
for
2.
that? So let me see.
Back to full. Ah, zombies!
And that's where I'm going to jump back about 5 feet and be like, Jesus Christ, woman!
All right, go ahead and move yourself if you can.
Yeah, it's been more cooperative since I reloaded it.
Nice.
I'm about to burn this whole catacomb down.
With us out of it, make sure we are out of the catacomb first.
Then start running!
Fair
You ain't
enough.
gotta tell me twice. Hey, I said a tactical treat was in our future. I will stand by that word.
Oh, God. Hang him, Denville behind you.
Vice, it is your go. A shadow ghosts on up in Drusilla, and one of the skeletons punches its way, knocking off the stone casket cover, clambering on out and shambling forward to be adjacent to
Action, disengage, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't want to be here.
Considering that thing just dropped you in one hit, I want no part of this farce.
To be fair, it was a crit, but the 4 strength that adds up on a castery type.
Yeah, because I'm at a 4 on strength right now.
Yee.
Drusilla.
All right, so
Run away.
I already have my like crossbow at the ray, so I guess I'm gonna attack at the shadow right beside me.
Okay.
Can we even attack the shadows?
I'm gonna attempt to.
About to find out.
Yep, this is about the side where not we go.
Yep.
Ah, die, evil beast, or go fuck, run away.
Yep. So that was a
That
16.
is actually a hit.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like how you said actually though. That's concerning.
That's why I said wow. 7 piercing.
Give me a second here. I'm trying to. I don't believe that shadows actually have any innate vulnerabilities in this, as far as like 50% mischance or anything. Nothing in the character sheet seems to imply that. Give me a second.
That's good.
Nope. Nope. It looks like as part of the reducing the difficulty of various things, they have removed that. So 7 points of piercing damage, you say. Damage resistance piercing.
Oh frick!
Well, I mean, you don't really know that bit, but yeah, so just did
No.
half damage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Rounding up for player benefit. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Might I recommend fire? You have a torch.
Yes. But that'll be next time.
This will be interesting. I've never seen anyone use a torch as a weapon in D&D.
Well, you're
no,
about
but
to
I'm
see it.
reminded of that time that Strider, threw the torch at the
The
ring wraiths on
Yep.
Weathertop. And a skeleton shambles out of one of the further alcoves. Its bone feet clanking on the wet stone floor. Click, click, click. And then the other shadow. Hey, look at that. There is a target right there.
I don't know what you're talking
Hangam, will a 21 hit your AC?
about. You better believe it. You hit me. I regret that decision.
10 points in necrotic damage and 1 point of strength lost.
Oh, okay. Everything's fine. Okay.
Like I said.
Yes. You still up?
Sure. Yeah, I'm still up. I don't
In
feel
a-
too good, but I'm
In a relative sense. Hey, but it is your turn now.
okay. Cool. I yell
Oh,
at
my bad.
I yell at Drusilla, and obviously loud enough so Denville still hears. Run away! me.
So I can still hear. Yeah, I'm right here next to you. If
I
you yell at
just-
the Drusilla, I'm gonna hear you.
Get behind me.
I'm running behind the fire stick and disengage and sprinting, so I get 60 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Did you disengage first? I missed it.
Yes, I
Okay.
disengage and sprinting.
Okay.
Well, if
So,
you take an action to disengage, then that means you still just have your regular movement. You can't take another one to sprint.
okay. So
Yeah.
So you got
One.
you got 30 movement.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. I'm out
That's
of the way.
fine. You're in perfect. You're in a perfect spot.
Not in
Denville?
the line of fire. That's the important part. Denville, it is your turn now. Back to the top of the chart.
Okay. I am going to disengage, and I'm gonna be like, nope. I see what you did. I'm getting out. So let's see.
Not
As
about
stated,
this
run
life.
away.
I think everybody has just left Drusilla behind.
They
I
have.
yelled at her.
No. I the way I'm gonna have to angle in order to get the 30 feet. It's gonna be a kind of zigzag around Vice and be like, okay, now use your fire.
Drusilla, hide behind one of the pillars.
Oh no.
Will a 7 hit your AC, Drusilla?
It will not.
Yeah. A ghostly hand whips on out, trying to claw at you, but you definitely manage to turn aside at the last possible second. The fingers just reaching right through your cloak as you pull back.
No touchy. Hello, Mr. Skeleton.
Bring me your dreams. Please give me
Oh my
back my
God.
strength.
Will a 6 hit Vice?
No.
I think we're balancing out my attack rolls from last time, though that 20 was kind of starting it off with a bang.
No, the shadow's
Vice?
not in range. The shadow's not in range.
Okay, well, we can focus on the skeleton in front of us.
What is your range?
I have a 15-foot cone of pure flames. And I want to use it. It'll kill them all, I guarantee it. But
hang on. Real quick, Palace. I'm seeing one of the D20s is sitting over 4 of our characters on the screen. Is there any way to move it?
All he has to do is click on the screen and it'll go away.
Okay.
You don't have to click on the die, just click anywhere on the web browser and it'll clear the last roll.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Can I use? No, I can't use control flames to damage. But what I can do? No, stop it. I didn't say control flames. Stop it. All right, I'm gonna have to hit it with a. That's it. Bonus action. I'm actually gonna use the mantle of flame this time as a bonus action, and then hit it with a firebolt.
Wait, does Firebolt have an area of effect?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, thank God.
But a 9 isn't going to damage it. So
And does that provoke an attack of opportunity?
no, because I'm not retreating.
Nope. Okay. I thought casting adjacent still provoked. Because there's a skeleton like trying to caress you.
True.
He just wants to touch you.
I thought attack of opportunities didn't work if the target you're trying to attack is right next to you, though. Like if you're attacking the adjacent target, it can't take an attack of opportunity to go back against you.
Let me double check because I'm pretty sure that, casting is not a offensive action anymore, but I don't
Oh.
remember. So give me.
True.
I believe the ruling was any range. Actually, yeah, any ranged attack, point blank, and a point blank range is at disadvantage.
Okay. Well, we might as well roll with it for the time being. So you probably should re-roll that with disadvantage then.
Okay. Let's see if I nat one, because that's really the only roll that will damn me. Oh, of course. Just can we not count the 9?
Yeah, just roll with. Okay, if it didn't have disadvantage figured
Oh,
on.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
hey,
Cool.
look, a 9.
Hey, look, a 9.
That unfortunately is a miss. Well, unfortunately for you, very happy for me. I'm ecstatic, in fact. Yeah, the firebolt streaks through the air, completely missing the skeleton. It just goes right through 2 ribs out the other side.
I'm panicking, man. I'm
You were
panicking.
too accurate. Drusilla, hey, you've got a couple of bad guys right there.
I do.
Way.
So okay. So how's this gonna? I'm trying to figure out how I can do what I can do because I want to back up, but at the same time, I know I want to kind of get them off me. Um, if I
Disengage and run.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
if you
really
if
about all
you
you would
use
be
your
able to do.
action to disengage, then you can move, but you won't be able to attack.
okay. But if I disengage, I can only move 30, correct?
You can just
Right.
move a single movement.
Okay.
Yeah, 30.
So I'm gonna disengage and run.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself.
Okay.
Skeleton seems to be fixated on you, and it continues shambling forward.
Don't you shamble.
And you do seems to have outdistanced it, but it's going to double move,
Oh jeez.
Oh.
but it does not get to attack.
I'm good with that.
The shatter that initially popped on up is gonna it's got a decent amount of movement, and it is going to go forward.
Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again.
Oh
Don't
god.
you do it. Don't you-
Vice, will a 14 hit you?
Yes. No.
9 necrotic, 1 strength.
I am dead.
Wow.
Within the mix of you, Vice collapses once again to the ground as a ghostly black hand, as if cut from reality itself, just a hole in the universe, sweeps on out, rakes through his chest, and he just gone.
Oh, wait. I forgot to mention, though, that both the skeleton and this guy should have been taking damage as well from this. Let's
Okay.
see. It is my bonus action whenever a creature takes fire damage equal to your charisma modifier if it hits you with a melee attack within 5 feet of you or if it touches you. I got bad touched
Okay.
twice. That's 5. That's 4 fire damage to both of them.
Okay. They are still standing.
Yep.
You, on the other hand, are not.
No, I'm not. But if you get me back up, I can torch him.
Yeah, I will take my action and give my potion to Vice.
Okay.
2d4 plus 20.
2d4 plus 2.
Plus, yeah, 2d4 plus 2. Sorry.
I was about to
How
say
do I-
plus 20. Good lord.
How do I roll? Type that in to roll it.
Just do slash
R.
R 2d4 plus 2.
Plus 20, that'd be a heck of a potion.
I live, I die, I live again. Witness me, brothers!
Did I type it in wrong?
Oh god. Okay. I'm debating whether or not to tell this story about the Church of Napalm because I feel like Vice is going
Oh,
to
I
be a
thought
I
deity
am
for
the
it.
Church of Napalm.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, we've heard
I
that one.
remember the story.
Yeah. So I
I'll
think
just-
she's
I'll
going
just
to
roll
become
it.
the new deity for it.
Woo! Okay, almost back to full. Appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And
I save yours. This is how.
you know what? We're all even. Let's forget about the tavern. Never happened.
What
All right.
tavern?
Vice is
What
still
tavern?
prone but conscious. Denville.
Give me one second. It's again with this laptop, but my
Hit the
plan
shot.
is going to be using a healing word on Hangam.
Good plan.
Thank
Yeah, since he's
You
almost
Good
dead.
bonus action.
You are adjacent to a shadow.
Well, healing word is it's a ranged and it's a bonus
That's a good
action. So
point.
he can heal and he can also attack in this turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let me see as far as my weapons go. I think I'm gonna attempt to hit the shadow
Please do.
using my longsword two-handed. So let's see if roll or not. Does an 11 hit it?
The shadow?
Correct.
No, it does not.
Okay. And then I'm going to use a healing word. Let's see. Remember how to use it. Where is it?
Click it in spells.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my spells on here.
Should be under your experience points. Core bio spells.
Okay, so go to spells and then just click on cure wounds.
Yep. Or healing
Let me
word.
make sure it's.
Healing word.
Yeah,
is your bonus
I'm
action.
trying to decide which one would be better, healing
Well,
word
you
or
can't
cure
use
word.
cure wounds. You can only use healing word.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
you
you're right.
attacked.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna use it.
Every little bit counts.
We're
Okay,
we're getting there.
so that's 9
Nice.
healing.
Very nice. All right, so you sweep out with your blade, but it just passes ineffectually through the shadow, and then belt out a quick little ditty and manage to heal the prone but not dead Vice relatively.
Wait, I thought Voss was back up.
Yeah, I'm back up
Correct.
at 6. That was all
Yeah. But he's
Yeah, I
still
was trying to
prone.
hit.
that was the hang
Yeah, I was trying to heal Hang'em, not Vice.
Oh, sorry, missed that.
Yeah, because Hang'em's down to 2 health. Vice has got 6, so I'm gonna
Oh
go for the lower
yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
How much did I get healed?
9.
9.
So you're 11.
Ooh, baby.
Okay, give me a second here.
Oh, you can do that for me. Okay.
I guess I'm officially having to say I am the field medic. I've got backup Vice. I've got
Much
backup Hang'em
appreciated.
twice now. I am keeping track.
The shadow ghosts quietly through the night air and approaches Drusilla. Will a 10 hit your AC?
It will not.
All right.
I need to
Again,
roll.
the shadow claws at you ineffectually. The skeleton does not pay any attention to Vice there on the ground because target fixation, it's prone, figure it's dead. So it is going to sweep its short sword through the air, taking a mad at Hangim.
Bring it. Ha 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 ha!
That is a nat
Wow.
1.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
my question. Are we going to, on attacks when nat 1s, have some sort of effect happen, or is it just going to be a simple miss?
Oh no, we'll have something happen on that one. Yeah, so the skeleton whips out with a short sword, sweeps through nothingness, spinning it around a full 360 degrees. Its sword goes flying, sticks into the wall next to it, embedding in the stone with a quiver. Wow.
Watch where you're swinging that thing. Jesus Christ, you could have killed somebody.
Vice, it is your turn.
The mantle of flames around me is getting burning a lot brighter, and I'm very pissed. Clap my hands together, spread them out, and cast Burning Hands point blank cone right on these two.
Okay, and you're prone. Doesn't matter if you are. So you're going to hit
Yep.
both of them. Go ahead and give me a. And that's a no attack roll needed, right? It's just straight damage.
That's a deck save.
Right.
You had to beat a
Okay.
14. I don't know why it says DC 10, but beat a 14.
Okay,
That's
that
one.
would be the shadow missing.
One fail. That's a success. So the shadow actually takes 16 damage because of my mantle of flames as my, and then the skeleton will take 8.
The skeleton is still standing, flames licking along its exposed bone. It stands there menacingly with flames in its eye sockets that you have so graciously approved, but without a sword. So the shadow evaporates with a just quiet whisper of air and vanishes into nothingness.
Then I'm going to use my movement to stand up over being prone. And as a bonus action, can I stab it with a dagger as an offhand strike?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you that. Take disadvantage on it, though.
Okay, that's fair.
That is a hit. And you know what? With 2 piercing damage, it had 1 hit point left. You stab, you stand up, and you literally shank it in the ribs, and it goes down.
Why is it? I have an image in my head of Vice whipping out flames while prone and coming up and just stabbing it with fire coming out of her eyes.
Fire on my
go-
eyes, shoulders. I have a cloak of fire on. I'm very much not happy right now.
Go ahead and give yourself inspiration because that was pretty valiant. Down on the ground, literally having been dropped twice, and then you rebuttal with flame cone and then shank a skeleton to death. So
You literally like rose up and you're just like, "Tish, I said good day. Leave me alone."
Good day, sirs. I said good day.
We are not worthy. This is the disciple of the Church of Napalm.
I'm gonna turn my eyes to the other skeleton shadow. What's next?
all right, Drusilla.
All right.
Run!
So because I was attacked, does that mean I'm engaged right now?
They're very engaged with you, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and disengage again and run.
Okay.
Or
The
is that engaged?
skeleton attempts to keep pace. And it does so. And then it swings at you with its short sword. With a nat 20.
The luck
Oof.
ran out.
Since that's max damage, we're not doing double damage. That is a brand new total of straight 8 points of piercing damage. It just double fists that thing right on into your.
Ew.
Lewd.
On a scale of 1 to 11, how you feeling?
3. I
Not so
think.
good.
Angum, the flames died down directly in front of you as Vice is standing there panting, holding a dagger, flames licking at everything. There's not even a body for one of his targets. It is now your.
That went well. I just like kind of brushed out. I kind of look at. I'm like, "Hey, Vice, are you gonna go after that skeleton there? Should I not go?"
Burn.
Okay,
Burn.
I'm just gonna stand right here.
And again, we return to my previous point. The pyromaniac being in front of everyone else is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I stand right here. You know what? I feel safe. I feel centered.
You feel warm inside and outside? The presence
Yeah,
of
we're getting a
fire.
little toasty here. We're getting a little toasty.
Yeah, the temperature in this place surprisingly rised. I'm comfy.
All right, you gonna skip your turn then, effectively.
Yes.
Dunville.
You know what? Because I have a feeling it's going to be coming. I am going to attempt to cast Bardic Inspiration onto Vice. So
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I believe at level 1 that's D6 or D4.
I'm not
D4.
sure. Let me see. Bardic Inspiration.
I think level 1 is D4.
Did it show up in the chat when I clicked on it or no?
No.
So let me double check.
What was this called?
Yeah, it's a D6. Bardic
Oh, it is.
Inspiration.
Okay.
I forget.
Says right
Bardic
here.
Inspiration.
How do you apply
That-
inspiration, Mortanus? Like regular inspiration?
So effectively, you can apply it to any skill check, attack roll, or save before I declare whether or not it's a success or failure.
Okay,
And then you just roll that and add it to the total, 1d6.
gotcha.
And that's a 5 that you get to add on it. So there you go, Danzig.
It'll be rolled at the time of it. He gets
Yeah.
to roll it and has to choose whether or
Oh.
not he thinks
Yeah.
it'll apply. So
Okay, so yeah, this
So I
this
did
is
get
where the whole
D6.
different
This is
DM
good.
things come different play because the air camp I've been playing with others, they had me roll ahead of time, and then when they get to that, they add it. But I'm good, with whatever.
Oh, I find that to be kind of cheese because then you know exactly how close you might be. And if you do it at the later time, you'd be like, all right, inspire. And I got a 1. It sucked. It didn't work. All right. Any other move or anything?
I'm going to stay right here. I'm behind the crazy pyromaniac. I'm in the safest place possible.
Okay. Once again, everyone abandons Drusilla to 2 targets, so the shadow will ghost on up, and maybe it'll hit this time. What do you guys?
Hey,
Will a 10 hit your AC, Drusilla?
It will not.
Vice.
you two, you get the skeleton. I'm burning that shadow. And let's go with a firebolt to the shadow.
You're
I'm
still
gonna
stuck.
hold my bardic inspiration. Oh yeah, I'm at
Yeah,
disadvantage. Yeah, that was a 25.
you're still. Either way, both of those would have been a nice, delicious hit. So
Are you kidding me with this? Add
that's
4
pretty
plus of my
impressive.
charisma. 5
That's true.
damage to the shadow.
5 damage.
That's so disappointing.
So the Vice, gesticulates wildly, and bolt of flame reaches across and impotently slaps the shadow across the face. It fizzles. Drusilla,
I guess
is someone like nervous leg bumping? Because I can hear a thump, thump, thump,
That's
thump,
probably
thump.
me.
Yeah, I can hear it as well. I was sitting
I
there
can
wondering.
too.
Apologies.
So I am going to disengage yet again and keep running so I can get behind Vice when she throws out that flame.
Okay, go for it. Disengage and move.
It's a good time to mention that I'm out of spell slots. So
There's my 30, and now I'm behind everybody. Next turn, I can actually, assuming they don't come up too close, I can maybe attack something.
I'm gonna let you two fighters know the cone thing again. So if you wouldn't mind throwing a wall up here for me.
Will a 16 hit Vice?
Yes.
3
Okay.
piercing. The short sword comes sweeping out of the darkness, cleaving you right across the face, leaving a little bit of a cut.
Mm. Uh, well, take 4 damage.
Oh, good point. That is the first damage the skeleton has taken. Hang up.
I move up to Skellington and roll to attack. And one-handed because I'm still holding the torch. I almost will a 14 hit.
A 14 will.
All right, now. Nope, that's not what I wanted. How do I roll damage?
You gotta
Just-
click the name Battle Axe one-handed in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay.
8 points of slashing. Pretty decent. That is not enough to drop it, but as your axe sweeps through the air and catches it in the rib, it lifts it on up and just about shatters it clean in half. It seems to be held on by magic, which duct tape, flex tape type of thing. It is barely. Denville.
I'm going to run up to the skeleton and attempt to slash it in a diagonal motion and try to destroy this little sucker one for all.
That is definitely a hit.
Sneeze on him.
You jinxed it, Alan!
It's okay, it's dead anyway.
It had 1 hit point left.
That's what I meant by sneeze
Your
on him.
long sword sweeps through the air, hits it so hard that it just detonates into ancient dust and bone. It collapses, short sword skipping off of the ground. Ding, 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 and drops. Its companion, however, ghosts through the air, unperturbed. Will an 18 hit your AC?
Yes.
Don't
You-
die.
You take 7 points in necrotic and lose 3 points of strength. Vice, it looks like it is your turn.
It looks like it is. Going to reposition and firebolt him.
Inexplicably, a 20 is not enough. It's a hit.
6 fire damage.
The flame spreads across the figure, a black curtain hanging in midair, but it does not destroy it. It is still there. Drusilla.
All right, I can finally do something. Though it's all piercing. So I'm going to, since it's close by, I'm gonna shoot it with my crossbow, or attempt to.
That is a hit.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And 10 piercing.
Even had you rolled a 1, it would have died because it only had 1 hit point left and you have to take a minimum. So your bolt pierces right through it and it evaporates with a little and nothingness, leaving you quiet, minus the panting and the flickering of flames coming off of
I mean, Vice.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I did something.
Is there any more like bone, like fragments and things from the last skeleton on the ground?
Yes.
I walk over to it and I create bonfire on top of the remains.
A little dancing fire at your feet with bits of ancient 1,000-year-old dust just popping and sparkling like a campfire at night.
So
I
it is
don't
official. Danzig is like the hero from the Overcautious Hero anime.
I don't give a damn if they were bodies of saints or heroes. Every one of them is burning.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm gonna go start setting fire to the coffins one by one.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
As you pop open one of the caskets further down the line after having set fire to about 7 other skeletons, you do see an oilcloth sack of about the size of a palm. And when you move it out of the way, it jingles with the weight of coin.
I will take it and then proceed to keep burning.
Okay, it burns quite well. So while he is burning everything, what would the rest of you like to do?
I'm just gonna look away. Just feel like, you know what? That's fine. I feel like if I look her in the eyes right now, it's it's not gonna be good. When do we get our? How do we get our strength back?
I believe a long rest allows you to recover 1 point without a restoration spell. Let me look.
I mean, I only took 1 strength damage, so that would be perfect for me at least.
Denver, how much did you take?
I took 3.
Okay.
So
I-
so I went from a 16 to a 13 strength.
Yeah. I ain't taking any, but I know that we're both low on health.
Oh, I'm very low on health, but I'm also just very devoted right now to fire.
You're low on health for a person with already low health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I had any spells, like if Healing Word or Cure Wounds was to fix the strength problem, but no.
No, and oddly enough, restoration no longer does. That must have been a 3.5 or 4. So let me see.
It was a thing in 3.5 at least. I know that much.
Hmm. I am not finding where the drain rules come in. That's odd. Okay.
From what I'm seeing, how most people affect it, it is you recover 1 of strength every long rest. So if you lose 5 strength, then that's 5 days of recovery.
Jeez.
Yeah, I remember that part, but I thought there was a. Well, I don't think anyone could probably take a spell that would help with that anyway. Give me 1 more second to check and then we can move.
That's fine. Let me know if I loot anything else in each coffin as I go along.
Will do. And there is nothing else in any of the coffins.
Okay. And nothing, yeah, nothing will remain either. Except smoldering ash.
Can you imagine like if those people that we saw the footprints for, like these were their like gods or whatever, or like some important people for them, and they come in, they just see it's like all there's like skeleton remains and everything's on like smoldering, and they're just like, what the fuck?
And then they turn around and see a fiery
Yep.
demon cloaked in fire with eyes burning.
You did this.
Remind me later, Danzig, to just send you a clip from that anime because you'll get why I said you're definitely the hero.
Oh, I've
from
seen the entire anime. I know exactly why. Cautious hero.
So talk about you kill her. Yes, but I must clean it and make sure there's nothing left.
I'm gonna burn down part of the town.
Don't forget he burned down a church as well.
I mean, I burnt down a tavern, so I'm well on my way.
I mean, for the mayor, it may as well have been a church by the way he made it seem.
Exactly.
Definitely would have been the
Good
case for
point.
Denville, considering he's a bard who loves his alcohol.
So, all those bodies are burnt. There's another set of caskets, but I need a quick break. Why don't we go back to the large table, barricade the doors, and take a rest?
Sure.
Okay.
let's do that.
I'm game with that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to have to dig through that. But yeah, it's not listed anywhere in there. That's interesting. Yeah, it must be 1 point per long rest. And then because it's not under restoration, lesser, maybe greater, but no one can cast greater. So
Yeah, it's kind of a heavy thing to put down on a
oh,
low
yeah.
level party. But we'll be fine. Think.
A character can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period.
Yep.
So you guys could, play cards for a couple of hours and then take a long rest.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so we're just gonna hand wave away that you guys spent 24 hours in that room. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyone have any objection?
No.
Nope.
All right,
take
go
a
ahead.
Watch, I'm guessing.
Go ahead and heal yourselves on up. Nothing happens in the middle of the night, or
So-
I should say, the 24 hours.
So do we just increase the hit points, or do we have? Is there a way to do like a long rest on this thing?
Just increased your hit points, and then everybody gains one lost stat point as well.
And their spell slots go back up.
That's the important one. Otherwise, you guys could have just rested and used
Yeah.
hit dice.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm back to I think 5 strength. Yeah, 5 strength right now. It's a good thing I don't need that stat.
Dump
Yeah, I'm
stat.
going back up to 14.
How we all feeling now?
Oh, I feel re-energized. I feel like there's at least 15 more corpses to burn.
I like as I'm just like and you like walk right by me. I'm like, okay, just not gonna stop you.
Oh yeah, how much money was in that sack of money that I pulled from one of the?
The gold coins do not appear to be of any branding that you've ever seen before, but there are the equivalent in weight and size of about 75 gold coins.
Oh my god,
It's a decent sum.
indeed. Oily sack of gold coins, 75 GP.
You're not the richest person here.
I will gladly share all the money if we can get out of here. Okay, let's go continue our adventure. I'm gonna peek back into this room.
Okay. Everybody, you can restore your strength.
Oh,
Like
So-
completely?
Apparently, strength drain, stat drain no longer works like it did in previous editions. As far as I can tell, there are actually only 2 actual attacks that do a stat drain, and specifically, the shadows explicitly says the target dies if it reaches strength 0. Otherwise, the reduction lasts until the target finishes a short or long rest.
Oh, thank God. All right,
So explicitly, this is a temporary damage that has passed. So everybody is okie dokie and full again.
Cool.
Thank God.
Yeah, it just wasn't on the character sheet. I had to actually go to the SRD for that entry. Kind of weird, but okay.
nice.
In any
I was
case,
gonna say-
everybody is okie and dokie. What would you like to do?
I'm peeking in this room. Is there anything crawling around here?
Nothing appears to have spawned or crawled from nether realms or anything in the interim time since you have rested. It is exactly as you left it, ashes and
Good. Good.
Well, if there's no objections, I say we go down this hallway. Let's just progress.
Well, did we see all that was that room?
No,
Was-
there's an entire half that hasn't been explored.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because we can go past the that lower area.
Oh, okay.
I'm up to go wherever the party wants to go, but if I see any more sarcophaguses or caskets or any kind of dead, you know what's happening to them.
As I recall, I think you guys voted Hangam as dude who walks in front, so
Yep.
it's up.
Okay.
I
Well, if we
suppose.
have, I guess if we haven't, I thought we cleared that area out. So let's just go do a quick perusal of the bottom area and.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I would much rather make sure that there's nothing sneaking up on us. Oh, I didn't. Oh, there's a hallway here. All right.
Yes, the southern side of the room appears exactly identical, only mirrored as the northern. More of those caskets, though no skeleton nor shadow pops out of them, even as Vice goes and starts lighting them on fire with glee.
And Vice, you are checking them first for money, right?
Yes, if there's anything in there other than bodies, I will remove it and then burn.
You find in one of them a little sealed vial of red liquid, surprisingly intact, the wax seal around it in fully there.
Pocket.
It looks like a healing potion.
Nice. Pocket it and burn.
Okay, it doesn't take too terribly long to go through and light everything on fire. It's a very odd aroma because it starts to wick moisture out of the moss and that starts to burn, and everything's a couple of thousand years old like the skeleton, so it just smells pretty awful.
Ugh. Grody.
Cool. Okay.
All right,
Whew, my job's done.
all the skeletons and whatnot, the bodies at least, have been burned. Where to?
I say we go down this hallway.
Yep.
I will hang around the back.
And I'm
I'll
not
attempt to
getting
keep
that
up.
far away this time.
Decision time. Decisions. Let's go this way, I guess.
Okay, the hallway takes a sharp 90-degree turn to the right and then ends at another 90-degree turn with a double set of doors. These doors are the same as everything else that you've seen. They've been inscribed, chiseled very nicely, the wood, in actually better shape than almost any other door that you've seen thus far. These, unlike the others that show figures, that show fractals and whatnot, show a sword on the left door and a shield on the right. No Pokemon.
This looks sketchy. I'd like to make an Arcana check on.
Go for it. Ooh, that is a pretty good check. As you do a little bit of an Arcana check on the door, you can feel that there is a residual ambient energy on the doors. Ancient, well placed. It seems the sort of thing that would have been cast there a long time ago as a basic ward that would have alerted someone when opened. But they are old spells, they are not recent.
Don't open the door.
If Fire Demon Lady says something, Fire Demon Lady is probably correct.
Nice.
I don't have anything to disarm a spell or a counter spell or anything like that because it's too low level for that. But if we open that, then it's going to set off some sort of alarm.
Yeah, let's go explore everything, and then if we decide later on to open alarm door, we shall open it.
Agreed.
Okay.
Oh gosh, more decisions. Let's go up this way. Let's just do basic breach and clear.
I'm all for that.
Okay. The hallway has a little T section there where you can either go northerly or southerly. The south is blocked by the doors. You can continue to the west, or you can head on up as you have already done. You discover, as you sweep on past and then quickly move on, that there's a staircase that heads on up, and then a staircase over there to the right.
Boy,
Hmm.
this is a maze.
So the room you're standing in right there, let's pause for a second there. This appears to be an entry hall of some sort, and what you would guess based off of the stairs that headed on up to the western side, probably the original entrance to the building, though somehow, and you're as of yet unsure, the building is now some 300 feet below the ground surface. That is something that has not been accounted for. So you're not sure how that would have entirely worked. The entrance, the stairs that you had passed on the left there, are entirely filled in with rubble, and it appears to be a natural cave in of some sort. Now, in the remainder of this room, surrounded, you see the little tiles there that are um, lining the walls. There are bronze plaques fastened to the walls there every 5 feet or so in that same ancient elven dialect that had been previously seen. Each of these, and since Vice can read these, I'm not going to bother with any sort of difficulty in translation. Each of the bronze plaques report the burial of Lifemaker's champion. In life, he was named Tassar Iverin, and I will go ahead and paste that into chat for people that care.
Sorry, going in my notes. Okay.
Say he was a champion.
Yeah. Also, I can't hear you, Martinez. I think you're pushed to talk.
Yes, he was Lifemaker's champion while he was alive. Lifemaker's primary warrior priest, no less. He was instrumental in defeating the evil one, a priest of a vile god, guaranteeing freedom for the followers of Lifemaker. There is apparently on one of the plaques on the southern side of the door there, you would call it a prophecy, declaring the return of Tassar, excuse me, when Lifemaker's hour of need is at hand once more. So to recap, he was a warrior priest of a god. He was instrumental in defeating an evil god, specifically a priest of an evil god, of a vile god, and guaranteeing the freedoms for the followers of Lifemaker. And then a prophecy about coming back.
So that looks to be his sarcophagus, so to speak.
If you want to head on up there, sure thing.
I'm going to go ahead and ready some fire in my hand.
Heh.
I just don't care.
Atop the steps at the end of that little alcove there is indeed a much larger stone sarcophagus than any you've seen before. This one has not been ravaged by time and water like most of the rest of the place. Atop is a face that would only be described as elven, but thicker, more broad, heavier, clutching a sword in one hand and a set of scales in the other. So the lid has been pulled away, however, unlike all the other ones. There was a lead seal that ran around the rim, and that has been chipped away and shattered. The contents within completely discarded. There is no skeleton within, though it is obvious one used to lie here relatively recently.
I'm sure that's fine.
Glancing on in, you can see that there are some items within there.
I loot.
We loot.
Lying inside is a suit of scale mail, though of a design you've never seen before. There is a single potion, very similar to the one that Vice had found in another sarcophagus, a small pearl of a lavender color, and a sword, a very nice long sword. Does not look magical, but it does look ornate and ceremonial. The blade, a little rusted, but in general condition, decent.
Can I have the scale, or I'll take the scale mail.
That's fine with me.
Okay, you reach into the sarcophagus and just yank out the armor. Nothing happens.
I what AC would that give? Would I have to put it on to know, or
Nope, it is in the book here. Give me.
Scale mail's pretty good.
AC 14.
Yeah, apparently I didn't write it down.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm having to relaunch Roll20 in Chrome and
All
Gmail.
good.
I just posted the link in there for everybody.
Yeah, it's an AC of 14, and I
With
do
a
believe,
Dex 2,
yeah.
max Dex of 2.
So highest can go is 16. It's a good medium armor.
okay? I mean, I'm already at AC 16. So does anyone else need armor that needs it?
1 second.
I mean, you are an arcane archer, so you can benefit from it.
Yeah. Looking.
And basically, everyone but me can basically use that scale armor.
Yeah. So mine. Yeah. Because my current one gives me AC 11. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's all yours, bud.
Cool. So I will, I guess, add that to my inventory.
I want to take the lavender pearl, and I want to arcana check on it, see if it has energy.
Okay, give it a go. Ooh, that is a pretty decent roll. Give me a second.
You are very good at arcane rolls, my friend.
I am a magic user.
Holding it and focusing on it with your arcane energies and kind of giving it a feel, you definitely feel like it is attuned to um, a magical, let's call it wizardly way. It is an item that requires attunement. So if you spend some time with it, you might be able to determine exactly what it is. But it is definitely magical. It is definitely arcane, and it is definitely something that you could attune to.
Okay. That's attuning takes an hour, do you believe? So, I could do it now, or I could wait till later, depends on what wants to do. But the fact of the matter is, there is a body of an ancient champion, and it is missing. But they left the equipment.
Seems about right.
So that means that he's unarmed if he's walking.
Way to look on the bright side. All right. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, I say we. So you said, I'm just gonna move my character here just to pinpoint. You said this place was blocked off by rubble.
Yes.
Okay. So I say this guy's not here anymore, so no point in being here. So I say we just go
Well,
keep going up.
before we go, I want to roll an investigation.
You were clipping out there at the end. What was that?
Sorry. I want to roll an investigation check on all the ancient elven writing, just to see if there was anything else I could glean
Okay,
other
go
than the
for it.
prophecy and things like that.
With an 18, you can tell that there's a rhyme and a meter to the way that it's spoken in a way that feels vaguely magical. Not just normal writing, but almost as if the chant itself would give it power. Not anything fancy, but whoever wrote it, whatever people use this language, magic was an innate part of their lifestyle based off of the way that it feels when you read it.
Okay, so the words themselves feel like they have a power when spoken together.
It just feels like magic would have been instilled in the way that it was spoken, like just an innate part of it.
Okay, but nothing else I can glean here. So I guess
Nah.
I'm just gonna like sketch down the entirety of their little prophecy chant.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right, continuing on. Which way would you guys like to go?
I say we head north ish or this way.
Okay.
I agree.
Is this also blocked off by rubble?
Yes, that whole area is entirely caved in.
Okay, then I say we head up here. Oh, this just loops back. Got it.
Yep, and you find yourself right next to the way that you came down into the well.
Okay, never mind. Back down we go.
There was a further path along that way that you had not explored yet,
Oh,
heading to player west or player left west.
hmm. Okay, let's just keep going west then. If
Yep.
we haven't.
We'll come back here if we need to.
Okay, you see a series of 90-degree turns that sweep it around.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where y'all went.
It's okay. We basically are back towards the beginning and then towards the left.
Yeah, straight west.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm still trying to figure out how to add that scale mail. So
Oh dear. What
is
do
this?
we have here?
Waiting for the camera to catch up. There it goes. You see that there is a rounded alcove to the west there, a series of doors to the south, which are different from any that you've seen before, as these are metal, and then a double set of wood doors to the north. But the most curious thing is that table covered with a cloth, and that cloth is just ancient. It is falling apart. It is tattered. It looks like it would have been canvas, a rugged type of cloth rather than a ceremonial lighter silk or anything. And there to the south, where those double doors are in that small alcove down there, you see a single large inscription chiseled into the wall.
Mm.
It is
I
in
want
that
to
same
ignite the
ancient
cloth.
Elven. You're gonna what? Ignite it?
Ignite the cloth.
The cloth just goes up, even though there's so much moisture in the air. It's just that ancient. It just goes up like flash paper. Woof.
All right.
Yeah.
And for my next trick, I'm gonna burn down this whole temple.
Hmm.
I say we just clear out this little door up here that doesn't appear to be anything special, and before we go through the special doors that could kill us.
Agreed.
Could you slide back so I can grab the door?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sniper, are you still?
He's trying to catch up.
Yeah, I'm having extreme technical difficulties over here, man. I'm trying.
No, it's
Okay,
I'm
man.
we're just making sure you're.
So at the end of this is a semi, let's call it a quarter half hemisphere or half hemisphere quarter circle area here. Let me scroll up to the correct. This appears to be some sort of a memorial room. Inside the alcoves are 4 statues, 2 in each of those smaller alcoves. These statues are standing above an ossuary, and I'm not sure if anyone knows what an ossuary is. Anyone? No? Okay.
nope.
It's
An
a place where
ossuary.
bones are kept.
It's a place where bones are kept. Instead of a casket for a spread out one, these are where the bones have been interred after the body has been rendered effectively. So, standing above, each statue stands above an ossuary. The ossuaries are lead sealed, just like the enormous casket of the champion, and the seals appear to be intact. Uh, yeah, each statue is different. However, they appear to be depicting a similar race as the champion was described as on the in. I'm starting to slur my words here a little bit. On the inscription of his stone sarcophagus lid, elf, but thicker, broader, heavier. Definitely more, less lithe and well, elven than one would expect. And each statue is different, like I said.
Hmm.
Hmm.
To set fire to not set fire.
These don't seem to be that needing a fire set.
Hmm.
There we go. I finally got caught up to y'all.
Fine, I won't set it on fire, but if anything jumps out,
You have permission to set it on fire. It saved us so far.
you say being a pyro is a bad thing. Excuse me.
All right.
Never said it's a bad thing. Just said you're a little bit crazy.
All
The
right.
best
What would you like to
people
do from now?
I'm gonna head back. I don't want to deal with these bones because last time I got strength drained.
Good point.
I learned my lesson. I'm gonna go.
Now there is that hemispherical room to the left.
Oh yeah. Anything over here?
There is a single brass statue here. Unlike the alcoves to the north, there is just a single one. This one is a elven warrior, but it's in the same type of scale mail that Drusilla is now currently wearing, though crafted out of metal rather than, well, actually, I guess the scale mail still crafted out of metal. It's a statue not wearing armor, effectively. Despite the general filth and state of the dungeon, this statue appears as if new. Perhaps it's been cleaned, or perhaps it is somehow resistant to the mold and mildew that pervades the rest of the place.
Interesting. Sounds like an Arcana check.
With an 8, you can tell that it is a statue.
Fine statue.
Let me
Is there
see.
any even small signs of rust or mildew or anything been on it?
No, the metal does not appear to be a brass or a bronze. It's more of a steely type of color, but it does not appear to have suffered any wear and tear whatsoever, or covered itself with, the mold and mildew so prevalent within the dungeon.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what else to do with the statue.
Is there an inscription on it at all?
Nope, not this one.
No.
In fact, none of the statues you've seen, well, the 5 so far you've seen, have an inscription.
I say we go check out these weird steel doors.
Okay.
The steel doors have no inscription whatsoever on them. They appear to be enormous slabs, that are set into the wall there. They are definitely crafted to be doors. It's not like someone just found some sheet metal and slammed it on in there. But unlike the other ones, no inscription. They just appear to be very well done, meticulously crafted doors. There's like a little inset lining around it that kind of forms a little border. And then if you look really, really carefully and closely, it appears that it's been brushed, sanded very slightly into concentric circles, making a beautiful rainbow pattern when light strikes it. But other than meticulously crafted, devoid of any sort of writing or inscription, just very nicely done. As noted, directly to the west of the doors on the right hand wall, there is an inscription in that ancient elven dialect, chiseled into the stone itself and uncorrupted by time.
I read it. What does it
Oh.
say?
There it is.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it
step.
is.
Sword and
Bone, crown and shield. Glaive-maker's power shall never yield. Fire and blood, water and stone. His truth shall again be enthroned. I'll generate that down too. Well, I've got the
Sword, bone,
fire.
shield.
Something tells me walking through these doors is gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
Well, I'm
This
suspicious
seems-
that these doors are probably not going to. But, those with much strength, give it a try. I'm going to take a few steps back.
If anyone wants to try to open them, they're welcome to.
I go to open the door.
Give me a strength check.
Ow.
Doors, once again, your bane. You push, struggle valiantly, but to no avail. It appears that not only are the doors unable to budge through physical strength, that they most likely do not open at all without some sort of a other mechanism. Because as you're pushing on them, you realize, yeah, there's no door handle.
Let's see. Well, we did find those two doors earlier, one with a sword and one with a shield. So more than likely, we need to go back to those doors and see what's further in there. But I don't know what the crown is. We killed a bunch of bones and I burned them. I've got fire taken care of. I'm guessing someone might have bled out. Me multiple times. And plenty of water, stone. Let's go find the sword and shield door.
Okay, gonna return back to where that was.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna move you guys because there's no point in doing otherwise. Hold.
The Batman.
Okay, it's in the southeastern corner for
You
Palace
also
there. Just
brought
go there.
you brought the cloth.
Ah,
out.
that's
The table.
I set it on fire
Uh,
again. I set it on fire again.
I strike the moving table.
I'm guessing that's a mimic.
I've had a player killed by a table like that before.
It will not be us.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. You don't want to, Alan. You don't want to strike inanimate objects because kind of found out one time a chest was a mimic and that almost killed me.
No, I know mimics are one of my favorite memes is I hunt mimics. Oh, there's no such thing as mimics. I laugh, the person laughs, the table we're sitting at laughs. It's a great time.
Exactly.
No, I remember a campaign where we were really starting to get on our DM's nerves, and so we were chilling out. Zebo came to life and ate our blizzard.
No me.
All right, there you are at the sword and shield door.
Okay, so there is no handles on this door, correct?
There are handles.
I open
Okay.
it.
This was the alarm door, remember? So whenever we open this, be ready.
But permission to I open it.
Okay, you open the door. You find that there is a chamber to the south as well as another kind of fork off to the east, forking into two rooms. They look identical to the ones that you've just seen at the other end of the map, with an alcove for statues and then a rounded alcove, which you can't quite see because you're in that other room, with a single statue. If you want to pop around, nothing moves and attacks here, so.
Do any of these statues seem to be carrying like sword, shield, or crown, or
Give me a perception check.
perception? Ah-ha-ha.
Nothing really catches your eye. Just a bunch of statues and ossuaries.
Bones make good kindling.
If any of us were to roll something higher, would that change anything, or is
Probably. Who knows?
One way to find out.
Potentially, yeah, you could try it.
Since I'm in this main room right here,
6?
21.
A 21 is sufficient to notice that at the very far end eastern promontory of that room, way off, there is a single statue. All of them look very similar, except as noted, each individual is different. They've been crafted kind of like the first Chinese emperor's terracotta army. Each of those is different, you know. In this one, the very furthest one is holding a shield that is not part of the statue. It is a individual item. It is a very pathetic looking shield, a rim of steel that has a little bit of wood crammed down in there. The wood is decaying. It's more holes than not, but it is holding a shield. The leather strap's just about ready to fall off. Nonetheless, there is a shield.
I'm willing to wager that this shield is actually more important than it's meant to seem.
I would take the shield, but I'd also be very careful of the statue coming to life. And that being said, 2 steps back.
I'm very cautiously with my axe ready to just give this dude a piece of my mind. I gently, just pick up the shield
Alan.
Indiana Jones style.
You stand ready with a weapon. Let me grab it just in case.
Fine.
Because I got a feeling that if you're sitting there trying to hit it and pick up the shield, this could go badly. So
Fine, you pick it up, but I'm just sitting there like,
that'll work.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
So Denville's going to grab the shield?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. You reach out and very gently lift the shield. It comes off. The leather straps kind of slide off of it, leaving bits of, well, melted leather behind it. I mean, the skin is just sloughing off of it, but it comes free into your hand. And no, the statue does not animate or attack or do anything. It just stands there.
I give it a quick like watching you. I'm watching you, statue.
Sounds good.
All right. Maybe
21 is also going to notice that a statue in the opposite room to the west of this little area where you guys are in is wearing a bracelet.
I take the bracelet.
Okay, the bracelet appears to be of a beaten silver metal color, but it looks brilliant. It looks untouched by any of the grime and debris. It almost stands out on the wrist of the statue. The statue is not holding a sword or anything, but this is a caster style statue, flowing robes, holding a staff in one hand. The other hand has the bracelet.
Can I see the bracelet?
Yeah, the bracelet comes off, and you can hand it to Vice if he wants to arcana it.
I give it to him.
23.
That is pretty good. And it looks like I already had the page up, of course.
It's almost an at 20.
That is going to be good enough to determine that when wearing this circlet, it is a circlet of blasting. While wearing this circlet, you can use an action to cast Scorching Ray. It is an attack bonus of +5, and it can only be used once per day. Once used, yeah, you have to wait until the next dawn for it to recharge.
Once a day, and it casts blasting, scorching ray at what?
At +5.
Plus
I
5.
feel like I need my glasses so I can just simply go, Mother of God.
Wait, scorching ray plus 5? What?
Yeah, ranged attack bonus at a +5.
Oh, so I had a plus 5 to be able to cast it. But what spell level is the scorching ray being cast at? Just at level 3 or level 2?
Minimum, yes.
Minimum, so that's level 2, I do believe. Let me double check my spell books. Yes, 7 level evocation and a plus 5 to hit.
Does 21 tell me anything about the shield? Like if I were to equip it?
You probably wouldn't even be able to equip it if you tried. The leather would probably just peel right away from it. It is a non-magical natural shield that has such an age that it is just decaying. It looks so basic compared to a lot of the other things that you've seen inscribed on sarcophagi and statues. It is just a simple shield, nothing fancy.
Seems so off
Very much so. It is. I mean, even compared to the scale mail that you've physically found, it just seems like it would have been the sort of thing made by an apprentice rather than anyone else.
Interesting. All right, so maybe we should go back to the other statues. Perception check
Oh, that was an accident. Nope, I'm trying to add it in the sheet.
to see if we missed anything on those statues.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure out how to add mine.
Because I'm willing to wager we missed something on those. Maybe it's like a little puzzle thing, and we have to have all the stuff, and then maybe we can walk through the door.
All right, which way are you heading?
I'm in favor of saying going back to the other statues. and
Oh,
doing
all the
perce-
way back up at the opposite end of the dungeon so far.
And yeah, and do a perception check to see if we missed anything. Because I don't think we actually did anything with it, right?
No perception checks were made up there. Okay, give me a second. I will mass move everybody.
Where are we going to?
Upper left. I have to be careful not to drop you in a room you haven't already visited, because otherwise it would reveal.
Little spoiler.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, I was thinking that maybe we perception check here and see what we find.
Gotcha. Okay.
Apparently, I brought a door with us. A 7 is not sufficient to notice anything other than, hey, statues.
Guys, there's statues.
All right, let me try my perception again. I've been unlucky with them so far.
Yep, I'm still unlucky.
Hey, you-
A
you beat me.
10.
You beat me.
A 10 is so default that you don't notice anything that you wouldn't with your eyes closed while sleep.
19.
Oh,
Now,
thank God.
19. Wow, that is pretty good. Let me pull up the actual chart for the rooms.
And don't mind this. I'm just making sure to see the circle to blasting actually has every. Yep, there we go. Now it's working like I want it to.
There you go. Huh. How intriguing. As you search around, none of the statues seem to have anything. However, you would say that with a 19, one of the ossuaries appears to be of a different style than the others. It is a little bit more ornate. Like instead of just being a box, this one has had scroll work done along the edges in order to make it look like leaves and vines are growing up along it.
Oh, nice filigree. Nice.
Exactly.
Well, this makes it seem a little more important. Is there anything here that might tip us off? Well, bone, of course. Is there any set of bones that seem to be like isolated or held more that seem to be like just by the design of the filigree kind of point to it being more
You're cutting out at the end of the sentences there. I
sorry.
didn't catch
Is
it.
there any of the filigree pointing to any particular set of bones that might indicate they're more important than the others?
Just, I mean, that ossuary itself is the thing that's been filigreed up and whatnot. So one of the ossuaries appears to be more important than the others.
Trying to figure out from the riddle. We have sword and bone, crown and shield. We have, to be fair, we have an ornate sword. We have a crappy looking shield that stood out. There's no mention of a bracelet. There is mention of bones and crowns.
Mhm. Did we? Sorry if we discussed this. Did we find a crown?
No,
No. Is one of the statues wearing a crown?
not that you've seen, no.
Because my idea was maybe if there was a statue wearing a crown, we give him all these items, and maybe it's like a little chunk.
A decent idea, but none have had a crown thus yet.
Hmm. What could this mean?
Did you want to crack open that ossuary, or are you going to leave all the bones undisturbed in case they get back up and try to kick your teeth in?
You know what? I'll open it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
vote
at this
someone
point-
else open.
Okay. You go ahead and chisel off some of the lead, peel it away from there, and then gently lift the lid. And inside is a, well, I won't say fully intact skeleton, but a skeleton containing all of its bones, gently deposited inside there in a way that was obviously done with reverence and meticulousness, with a skull sitting on top. You wouldn't call it a crown, but more of a tiara, a circlet perhaps, kind of a laurel crown perhaps that goes from temple to temple, sitting on the skull here, and next to it is another potion of healing.
So that
Alright.
there's our crown.
There does appear to be something that would be crown-like, yes.
You know what? I'm gonna hand the crown over to Vice because, well, did I hand the shield to you, Alan, or did I hang on to it? Because I know
I mean,
you
it
were talking
just
about when to wear it.
well, no, I thought that if it was these, it's probably nothing. I think you just kept it.
Okay, then I'm gonna hand the crown to Vice. Better not to have me carry everything. I'm not your pack mule after all.
It radiates no arcana.
No magic, but it's a nice crown. And I will go ahead and put it in the bag.
It seems to be
Okay.
made of that same twisted silvery metal that the circlet was, and on second introspection, the same as the cable that lowered you into the well.
Interesting.
I'm willing to like. So we discussed that this Did we decide that this statue here seemed more important than the others? I'm just trying to remember
It
conversation.
definitely seemed different. It was not marred by any of time. It didn't have any gunk or mold or mildew growing. It looked much more pristine than the others, but it didn't roll.
True.
I didn't roll high enough to actually glean anything
Oh,
from
yeah.
it.
Maybe we. I'm saying we've just to humor the idea. Maybe we put things on it, the stuff that we found, and see if it unlocks the doors.
I don't disagree.
Okay, so
Um,
what are you going to place upon the statue?
First, the crown.
Okay,
Does it seem to fit over the head?
it does.
Okay.
Awesome.
Is there a spot for it to hold the shield?
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of drape it over one arm.
Okay, someone do that.
Its left arm, traditional shield arm, does not seem to be held in a way that would indicate a shield should go there, but you can easily, gently move the shield over so the leather straps hang on that arm.
Okay.
What about that longsword we found in the champions?
Its right hand is more of a gesturing type of hand. It's held up a little bit with fingers kind of outstretched as if it was talking or holding up a skull and talking to Shakespeare, to be or not to be type of a thing. So you could balance the sword in its palm, but it definitely could not. It's not made to hold a blade by the hilt.
Oh.
And then we have the scale mail we found.
You gonna take that off and try to fit it over the statue? I can tell you right now, it would only just pile around its head because of the way that its shoulders and arms are set. You wouldn't be able to shimmy it over its entirety.
Cool.
Maybe the bracelet.
And technically, I'm not wearing it because I couldn't ever add it to my inventory.
Oh,
Sword and bone, crown and shield. Crown belongs. Shield kind of drapes over it.
Maybe put the bracelet in the hand that's doing like the gesture.
Or we can put an actual skull in it.
why don't you guys give me a perception check here because you haven't done it in this particular area for something else.
19.
A 19 should be sufficient. Let's see if anyone gets better.
Good lord, dude, the dice gods have not been kind to me. Not.
A 19 is going to be sufficient. The table that's directly next to you that somehow moved through the entire dungeon on magical accident does appear to have indentations that would hold certain items within it.
Okay.
It definitely seems like you could place the sword, the shield, and the crown, and they would fit into place. As far as bone goes, there is a relative depression, but it's not bone shaped.
Okay, so guys, let's put the sword, shield, and the crown here in the spots that's supposed to indent go to.
All right.
All right.
Also, with the 19, you could tell that that little indentation where you're assuming bone goes by process of elimination has what could be described as powdered bone within it that appears to have been placed recently, considering the table is absolutely devoid of any of the moisture. It looks like someone has scrubbed it down recently and then placed bone fragments in that little depression.
So
Oh,
we need-
gee, if only we had some bone fragments and someone hadn't burned them all.
Well,
there's-
that
there's
that
intact
ossuary
bones
back
there.
there, there's plenty of intact bones, yeah.
I grab a bone that would fit that thing and put it and bring it back here. And put
Okay,
it in
you
there.
grab a bone and gently place it in the depression, and you hear a heavy click that thunders through the entirety of the place. Just a deep, resonant. It's not so much as a sound of heavy machinery moving as something you feel in your soul. Chunk.
Nice.
Followed by do.
Heh.
All right. Well, I go to open the door. Or maybe
Nothing happens.
I feel lied to.
You know what? Maybe I should kick the door.
That's always a good idea. Strength check it.
I cheer you on from behind. You can do it.
Aha!
That is a solid, meaty kick. You haul back with a booted foot and just hammer on the door, and your foot rebounds completely off of it. You actually manage to do a little backflip, but it is so solid that it's like vibranium. It just redirects all the vibrations back onto you. You feel
Damn it!
That's a very unfortunate 20.
Right? Oh my
If it
god!
if it's any consolation, I thought it was a very forceful kick. Good job.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a point of inspiration for that you can mark down. That was impressive, but unfortunately, it is opened elsewhere.
All right. How do I put inspiration down again?
I'm not sure where it is on the character
It's
sheet.
above proficiency bonus in core. You just click it and then put the little dragon on there. Well, there is places we haven't explored.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, you've done about maybe 60% of this place so far.
yep,
Okay, so we need to go and open somewhere else.
yep.
Okay. The last place I remember us being that we didn't explore was
The champions. There was a couple hallways when we were at the champions place.
yeah, it was yeah. So let's go. I say let's meet back at the tomb, and then we'll go from there.
With all this walking around, Mortanis, can I just been like attuning to the lavender pearl?
Sure. I think at this point, probably an hour has passed by you guys journeying from one corner to the other and back again. And that lets you know that it is a pearl of power. While this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain one expended spell slot. If the slot was 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level. Once per day, it cannot be used again until dawn. Yeah, I wasn't actually intending for that to be 2 magic items in a row that went to the fire wizard, but such it be.
I was wondering about that.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's other casters in the group, sorta. It does
Yeah.
not specifically say the Pearl of Power has to be used by a arcane caster. You know, it could be used for extra healing, is what I'm getting at.
It could be. It very well could be.
But no one else knows you have it.
All right. Well, so I know that we didn't go to the left here, and there's 2 hallways down here.
Yeah, there's the double doors directly below you, and then a passageway heading west.
I say we breach and clear. Let's go through the door.
I can't even see where you're at, dude. You move too fast.
Just go straight south from where you guys are.
Sorry, I was keeping up with Vice.
Nice. I go fast.
Gotta go fast.
So go all the way to the end of that hallway.
Sanic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Cool. I'm caught up.
All right. South or west?
I say through the doors. If anyone else.
Yep, I'm fine.
Okay.
All right. Once again, opening to reveal a room of statues to the left and right, and then a single statue in the center south there. Each of them different, each of them depicting various elf-like, proto-elf maybe, figures in various, some are spellcasters, some are obviously warriors, some appear to be scholarly. But there are also ossuaries, and each of them is basically as every alcove and room that you've seen previously.
I roll perception on the statues.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for where I'm at.
I
I
Yeah,
am
I'm gonna
truly
roll for the
distracted with
right
a beautiful.
side.
Nope.
we noticed we are standing in rooms, I would assume.
Oh,
Other
hey,
than-
there's
there we go.
something. The bard does notice that on the statue in the dead center south, the curved alcove, that it appears to be scholarly looking, and it is wearing a pair of bracers. Leather bracers, I should say, and they do not appear to be succumbing to age.
I want to take them.
You want me to see what I can glean from them?
No, I'm just gonna pull them off. Why not?
Cool.
Take 'em
Okay,
with us.
Go ahead and grab. The statue animates and stabs you.
What?
I told you, people.
Give me a second.
You got too cocky.
Indeed, that is why I kept my person right there in the back.
Well, if you
I'm
Wait,
getting
which room-
advantage on this. It swings a mighty halberd down, just hacking at you.
hole. Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Wait, where was it? In the middle of the room or?
You can see it there. It's
The green thing.
green thing.
Oh
Yeah,
God!
it's actually facing the wrong way. You will go ahead and take 15 points of slashy damage.
Yeah, it's going to down me. I'm trying to get my token to that position, but I'm having it lag on my end.
Okay. That's why I was
So-
like,
Yeah, it's not letting me move for some. Hang on, there we go. For some reason, it's making it work. Only moved in the lidded areas.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not sure 100% why that does that, but I've moved you on over there. Oh, hold on. Let me turn them around.
Yeah, you're up here next to the lovely friend here.
And we're actually going to pause there because that's the 3-hour mark and we need to do the breakdown afterwards. So we will start with combat next time
Oh,
and roll for initiative next time.
sounds good.
All right. So okay, first off, did that attack drop you?
yeah. Easy.
Okay. So let's go ahead and make me mark that. I'm actually going to move you up right and put a big old womp womp X on you.
That'll work. And
All right.
I'll go ahead and mark down my hit points.
Okay. So starting with Vice, would you care to give your post-game thoughts here?
Oh, I can blast things with more fire than I'm.
You're cutting out,
loving
Danzig.
this. I'm loving this. I get to do more fire now. Blasting circlet. Oh man. I
Any
love that part.
problems, any changes, any things that you like, dislike, you want to call out specifically?
Not really dislike. I just had a quick PTSD moment when I went down and the first shadow came at me. Because when my friend started learning how to DM, we started DM his campaign. He in the first dungeon we went into, he killed 3 of my characters through Drain Touch.
Yeah. And shadows aren't even all that difficult of a thing. They're like half CR or something. But that first just nat 20 just destroy.
I will admit it gave me a little bit of PTSD, and so everything had to burn.
I think I got I know I got 2. I think I might have gotten 3 combat nat 20s. I know I got 2 at least because Palace took one right to the face as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you were rolling very well.
Not quite as good as last week where I didn't even ever miss. Excuse me, Palace avoided like 4 or 5 attacks in a row from those shadows and skeletons chasing him down, but then one just managed to land and make up for all the rest. So,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
all right, Drusilla, your thoughts?
Well, I'd like to say I finally figured out how to add that armor to me, so I finally have my armor class up. So just a heads up for anybody, if you're using multiple screens and you have the character sheet popped out, you cannot drag from the compendium over to your character sheet. It has to be not popped out for that to happen.
Oh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, so I had to temporarily show my not that it's the big of a deal, but I had to like put my character sheet back into the tab and put it in there and then pop it back out again so I can actually see it off to the side. So just a heads up for anybody. And if y'all see me doing that in the future with streams like that, that's probably why, because I'm probably having to add something we might have picked up. Overall, I really liked the way everything went. I do think this is not for the DM, but more for us, as we probably need to try to keep an eye on, like, if we're moving through something like this, where Drusilla is, because I have to kind of keep up with the map for our viewers.
That is true.
Yeah, not all of the maps are going to have built-in lighting. I'm a pro member, so I'm going to go ahead and use it because it adds to the ambiance. So most of the time, you'll be able to see the maps a little bit better, like last week. But yeah, it does make it a little bit difficult if people pop ahead before he can follow on up with that.
Yes. So
One question I would like to ask you there, Palace, is why is everything stretched horizontally? Everything from Roll20 is stretchied.
be
Those circles should be perfectly round, and everything's just a little bit aspect ratioed.
because if you were to do it the ratio the right ratio like it normally is, for some reason you end up with like it don't cover the full area of the overlay.
Huh. Well, we might have to rework the overlay some. I'll get with
Yes.
you on that sometime this week because I'm not following 100% what the issue is, but we can probably figure it out.
Yeah, we can do that one day. Yeah,
Any other
I didn't think to mention that, but yeah.
any other pros, cons, things you just want to specifically call out? Good, bad.
Other than Vice getting all the magic stuff, not really.
You have not found all the items in here. Fifth edition does not Monty Hall nearly as well as the other editions. Magic items are supposed to be a little bit more sparse because they generally have a tendency to do multiple things, and there's no actual level chart anymore where it used to be in 3.5 and the like, where literally like by third level you should have 45,000 gold pieces worth of loot, and they've done away with that. So it's more of a piecemeal thing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and some items are gonna, it's like playing a hunter in World of Warcraft early on, where they rolled need on absolutely everything because theoretically they could use everything, even though they. So there are other items in here, and sometimes they're gonna overlap. Like this could have been used by the bard as well. So, but there are other items. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna go heavy on magic items, but we aren't going too light either.
No, it's no worries. My whole thinking was I was looking through my character sheet. I'm thinking, okay, I'm fighting something that's resistant to piercing damage. All my stuff is piercing damage. It's also as weak against fire. I had nothing that's fire. I'm thinking, okay, is there anything we can pick up that might could help me in the future? And so I'm thinking things like that as we get more through these encounters.
Okay. Hangam Windhammer. Pros, cons, thoughts.
I mean, it's more on just. I mean, I'm enjoying the campaign. It's a lot of fun. I like this like dungeon crawly stuff that we're doing. I'm enjoying the maze aspect of this crawling thing. Um, I think the only cons have been my rolls. So and there's no fix on that. Obviously, it's just luck. But the combats have been fun, and it's just been a lot of chaos, which is great. I love chaos, so I'm enjoying myself. So
Alrighty, and Denville Alistair.
I mean, I don't know what to say about it, especially right there. At the end. Go to pull those gauntlets off a statue. Next thing you know, I'm just downed. So, but I mean, it's fun. I'm loving it. The only thing I'm not liking is how I've been getting low rolls on perception, but then finally, right there at the end, it gave me a high enough roll, and then somehow I just want to follow up with that nat 20 for the attack from the statue.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
exactly. It was like I liked how we started out with those like removing items. We were like, all right, we should like double team this, make sure that, and then like
Yeah.
then the next one we were like, oh no, it's fine, and then this one it was almost as if the DM was waiting for us to get comfy.
It was actually this was a planned encounter, specifically that room. It's funny because you bypassed it earlier, and I figured we'd hit that combat, and then everybody was like gingerly trying to take the shield off of the thing, expecting a statue. Because I mean, it's an old trope by now. You see a skeleton, you expect it's going to pop up. You see a statue, you expect it's going to stab someone right in the old face, and then none of that happened, and the guard went down, and I was like, okay, at some point they're going to go back to that, and there it was. They went back to the room and their guard was down.
And let me point out the worst part about this: the healer went down. So who heals the healer?
Truth.
The one with 2 healing potions is about to shove one down your.
The fact you cut out there, that kind of worked perfectly.
That did. So as far as things go, we will be back in 2 weeks on the 16th. That is the day after Valentine's Day, so there's nothing we have to worry about there. The other thing is that we are actually going to be very close to what I'm going to call a boss fight for this, and I think for thematic appropriateness, once everybody go ahead and level up to level 2. That includes the not quite alive bard, though you will just be at 0 hit points, but your new hit points will go on up from that. And if you get healed in the middle of combat, you will heal at the new hit point level. But go ahead and level up to level 2, so you hopefully have a couple more hit points to deal with the boss fight, because you're gonna need them.
Okay, so how do we level up?
I was wondering that same thing.
We just have to go through and edit our character sheets, which we can after we close down the stream, we can go through and level up together and answer any questions as we go along.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. So, unless there's anything else, I think we're actually going to call it there. Everybody hopefully had fun, both viewers and players. So we're going to do the final roll call here. Everybody will let you know where you can see them. I am Mortanis TV. I have a tendency to stream a couple of mornings a week, Pacific time. Usually I am a 7 Days to Die streamer. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and I am all over the Hobo Slayers Discord, which we have a command for now. Go ahead and hit that. There we go. Look at that. If you'd like to keep up to date with all of the streamers, as well as the Hobo Slayer stream team and the D&D campaign, well, that's where you want to go. And go ahead, take it away. Introduce yourselves again, and we will call it there.
I'm Dan's Extremes, member of the Hobo Slayers. You'll find Discord and on Facebook at facebook.com/Dan's Extremes and on Twitter at Dan's Extremes. I stream kind of sporadically through the week in the evenings, usually in the about 5 o'clock time slots about night. And what I play is generally up to what's going on during the week. So tune in to see whatever I end up streaming.
All right. I am Palace Streams, and I'm all over the place with some variety. Though lately it's been more Pokemon and getting into some 7 Days to Die, such as Mortanis. There. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, pretty much everything. Palace Streams. That's it.
Lumberjack Allen, member of the Hobo Slayers. I can be found at Twitter, Instagram at Lumberjack Allen, and then Twitch at Lumberjack Allen Streams. Trying to fix that. And just real quick shout out, doing charity stream all month of February. Go check that out if you can. Lumberjack Allen Streams. Otherwise, yeah.
Then I can be found at twitch.tv/SniperOut2010. I'm going to play first-person shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield 5, but we do play the off chance, and even just recently did a creative stream with a tank build, of all things. But I'm on Twitch and mainly on Twitter. When I do stream, it's usually during the week. If I can, it start early during the day, but it's usually in the evenings that I do stream. And I usually post the stream schedule up on Twitter. So.
All right. And that concludes tonight's game. Thank you all for stopping by. A very big thanks to you guys for playing. This has been crazy fun, and we will catch you in 2 weeks.
Yep. If I may, I have one couple last things to talk about.
Go for it.
All right. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining in tonight. We greatly appreciate it. A couple things I want to bring up is that we will be having community nights among the Hobo Slayers, which you can find right here on this channel. So be sure to follow to keep track of all that. Of course, like Mortanis said, D&D nights will be every other Sunday. The next one will be on the 16th.
Yes.
So that'll be our next D&D session, as well as we periodically do have podcasts right here on this channel. Last thing I'd like to cover is we are, I am working on uploading everything to YouTube. Let me get this link in here. You can go to that link there. We're setting a goal to get 100 subscribers. We're like a fifth of the way there. So go subscribe, hit that notification bell to get updates for when both the D&D sessions and our podcast go live over there. That is it from me. We have no one else on the team live. Is there anybody we want to raid?
It's
Or
up
no?
to you. Otherwise, it's okay to just close it sometimes.
Cool. All right then. Since we have no one on the team live, we're going
Well-
to end here tonight.
What about Rocket Punch? Didn't they just like rebrand or redo something to bring themselves?
Yeah,
back
they
up?
were doing something mysterious on Twitter. Like there's a whole bunch of coding messages, like they were updating software or something like that. I want to see what the heck's been going on.
All right then. We can raid them.
Oh, we'll show a little love.
All right.
Yep, and hopefully we'll see you soon with the community night if day together and figure out what we're gonna be doing for it.
Yep. That thing here. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah.